Right, Street Talk, Gemma. We're here. We've got 4 episodes to talk about. It's been... Seriously, I was just reading through the notes for previous Friday's episodes. I vaguely remember this. I think I know what happened. I mean, I'm not going to quiz you, but if I were to say to you right now, tell me anything that happened in last Friday's Coronation Street, I'd be very impressed if you
Tracy
could tell me
comes
a
to the
whole
garage
thing.
pretending to find out how Tyrone
Stop it,
is,
you're looking at
but
the
she's really
notes.
using it as an
Stop
excuse.
it. Right, so we're going to have I don't know... I don't want this to go on for too long because it's Saturday afternoon and I'm a bit tired still. Have I said that already? And people are waiting for the episode to come out. So we'll see what we can do to whiz past some of the not so exciting
We won't be
parts.
able to.
I know it's difficult.
Because you can't edit as you're watching, as you're reading.
I binged through this week's episodes yesterday evening. Sometimes a Corrie binge can be quite exciting. It's like, oh, brilliant, I don't have to wait to find out what happens next. But unfortunately, that kind of... To be able to think that, you have to be excited and invested in the stories that are going on, which I can't say that I was so much this week. It feels like it's just... I don't know whether this is true, but has the Abi and Carl affair literally been going on since the dawn of time? Because that's where I'm feeling at the moment.
Number one,
they're all thereabouts.
You can say anything you want on a podcast. It doesn't have to be true or not. But if you say it with conviction, it becomes fact.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Abi and Carl affair that's been going on since the dawn of time.
Number 2, it has been.
Oh, good, thank you. And so we got that. We had Todd and Theo. So the first story that we're going to start off with is this family affair. And I thought it was going to get rumbled this week when Debbie comes into their hotel room at the end of the week on Friday and Abi pops out. I literally said, come on, fine, just catch them at it so we can move this story along. But I suppose the story has moved on, hasn't it? Because Abi dumped Kevin this week. She's sleeping on the sofa now.
What a total bitch.
But he doesn't know about his brother. Well, he thinks he does.
He does.
He thinks he does.
It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird... Yeah. How is he going to react when he finds out it's true?
He's like, I told you. I told you.
Okay.
I don't know. That's going to be first. We're then going to be talking about the end of Noah's Ark, which is the shocking surprise from Monday's episode, which was Noah has popped his clogs.
Noah's contract ran out.
Yeah. What's going on? Did anybody see that coming? Don't say yes, because that's a lie.
I thought this was really interesting and such a weird thing to happen that it makes me think something behind the scenes happened. But I don't think it did.
It does. I know, it totally didn't. It's clearly planned, but it does come across as being like...
No one just dies.
The actor's just done something to really annoy the producer.
No. Like, he's got to move to Australia. And so, I mean, just like a soap character, he just went.
Yes. We didn't even see him die, did we? That would have been quite good.
Heart attack man.
Yeah, he could have been like heart attack man. Yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway, so we'll see what that was all about after that. Then we got the Asha crashes storyline, and she is really crashing down quite deep at the moment. There's sound effects and all sorts.
It's terrible.
Oh my gosh, and racists and my god.
Do you think that there are people who are avoiding talking to their GP about mental health issues because they don't come with sound effects, and they say can't be PTSD because there's no weird...
Yeah, I must just be really stressed out.
And the funny thing about that noise is that's the sound of the camera moving, isn't it? Like, the camera kind of moves and we hear a whooshing noise. Why are we hearing the sound of the camera?
Know. We'd have to ask one of the directors. If only one of us interviewed
If only we ever did.
We have got the Beck from the Dead storyline, which has been relegated to 4th place this week because it didn't even appear in Friday's
That's
episode.
a very South African accent.
What?
Beck from the Did.
We called it the Tyrone storyline. He's been doing sod all, has he? He's just been lounging around in bed. I called it flat tire before, but I'm calling it tie down now.
How fun is it to be an actor who's bedridden? Is it good, or does it start off good and then you hate it? Probably.
He's going to be up and about soon.
I bet he's not cosy because I bet it's really hot.
Yeah, probably. We then got a bit more of the Boy George storyline. That's the highlight for me. What's been going on with Christina and George and Jenny, of course. Bizarre, but I'm still enjoying it because it's a bit of light relief from all of the other tragic misery that's encircling the rest of the plots this week.
What do you mean? What's wrong with it? Dead people, sad stuff.
Affairs, breakup of marriages, yeah. And then we are going to end up with the Oliver twist, which is what's going on with Ollie.
I do not know what's going on with Ollie.
No.
Well, I think I do, but the thing I think is happening is even weirder It makes it even weirder.
Let's get to that when we get to that in a couple of hours' time. We'll start off with the family fair. Would you like me to do this one? Do you want to...
Yeah, I'm watching the rugby. So
Gemma's watching the rugby at the moment in the background.
It's
I'll just nudge you if I want you to...
it's nearly half time.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Right.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to do it. So, we got last Friday's episode we're starting off with. And back in the day, that whenever it was, 8 days ago, Tracy's still wanting her money off of Abi and Carl. She still reckons that she's going to get this 10 grand out of them, and she's been very lenient, hasn't she? She's been asking for this for about a month now.
I would have pushed it a bit more because it feels like a time sensitive thing.
Well, I don't know how long a divorce takes, and even if it doesn't really matter compared to real life, because everything in Corrie time seems to happen at
I just genuinely
much brisker pace.
I understand Carl's reluctance to let this come out, but why does Abi not just come clean now?
Yeah, well, because she still cares about Kevin. She's just not in love.
He's gonna find out at some point, and he's gonna know that it happened. So what are you trying to do?
So surely next week this has got to come out, but I don't know. But back in the days of last Friday, Abi says to Tracy, "Look, we can get you £500, but that's all." And Tracy's like, "No, don't want £500. I want £10,000."
She's quite ambitious, isn't she?
Yeah, might be an ambitious demand, but there's one thing that Tracy Barlow doesn't do, and that is backing down. So she's still
she kind of does.
Give me the whole lot, please. So Carl pulls up to Abi in his car at the garage, and she tells him about Tracy's visit, and he's like, I don't care. She can have £500 now and lump it, basically. So that's...
There's a whole subplot about the lights going off, and I don't know why that's relevant.
Oh, yes, the lights did go off at Preston's, didn't they?
Maybe the lights went off in real life, and they were like, quickly put it in the script.
Well, because Carl comes in with this £500 to give to her. Tracy says, "No, I want everything, please. I'm the one calling the shots here," but she's clearly not. I think Tracy of old would... she'd be springing into action a little bit more. Gemma's just transfixed by the television. This is why we don't have the telly on when we're recording a podcast.
We're 21 to 8 at the moment. We're doing quite well.
Honestly, it's boring.
It's not boring. It's very exciting. There were 3 tries on our side and 1 on theirs.
Well, maybe you could try to listen to me.
97 tackles, 192
Stop
metres.
Stop it. Right, so Brody, he's also in it a little bit on last Friday. And he's trying to just get back in Carl's good books after being a terrible lackey. And Carl says, "No, sorry, you've screwed up for me too many times. Bog off, I don't want anything to do with you anymore." Then we have also a little bit of a mini subplot for this of Debbie going to Glossop. And I can't remember all the details of this. Again, when we watched this episode, this is after we arrived in Manchester last week. We arrived in Didsbury, didn't we? Very late. So it's probably past midnight that we were watching this.
We haven't really had peak watching.
We haven't had normal watching for this week's, no. So Debbie's gone to Glossop because she wants to find a musician to help her with this dementia choir. So that they can
rub it in their faces.
Rub the current dementia choir's faces in the dirt. And so she knows somebody called Katrina Castleton. What was she saying? She was worked with a band or something? I don't remember. She was in a band. Anyway, she wants to wipe the smile off the other choir's faces.
No, she wasn't. She played at a venue that another band did.
That was it.
Which is just the normal thing.
Yeah. I didn't write any of this down. It was too long ago to remember. So that all goes on. So Carl is taking Debbie away. And the whole point of this was for his alibi. Yes, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Because Tracy, later on in the episode, walks into her darkened shop and finds a vile hoodie there, raiding it. I don't know whether he wanted flowers or the cash in the till or whatever.
Maybe
else
he's
they sell in there,
got hay fever and he's taking revenge.
Take that, flowers.
Yeah, take that, you horrible, disgusting sexual organs of plants.
Well, she reckons it's Carl, doesn't she? But we later find out that it's actually Dylan, who is... I don't understand some of these characters' motivations. What's
Dylan
on?
did it because Carl made him feel bad about not being very good at being a goon or something.
Something like that, and he's proving, no, I'm actually an excellent goon. But that doesn't match what I...
Carl gives
doesn't
him
match
some money.
Dylan's personality.
He's got Gonard in prison. Yeah,
Carl says that they're square now, so maybe that's just going to mean that Dylan can do some dodgy work from later. I don't know. Does anyone else find Dylan working as a petty criminal completely unrealistic and a bit eye-rolling? Do you?
Yeah, I think it's a bit. I don't know. Honestly, they could cut this whole plot out.
I think
the cars are so boring. Cars are like the most boring thing in the world. Really, stealing them is not interesting to me.
I'm just really confused about what's going on with older Shanice and Joni as well, because I thought it felt like a month or so ago maybe that we were gearing up for a lovely Sally and Tim story, and it's like, oh, let's see what it's like for them raising these, and Brody's going to be doing his dodgy bits on the side to try and earn money for them, but we've not seen them, have we?
And it's vitally important that we get Grony away from her aunt, and no one cares now. She's just stuck there, and old Pony is still living with Tim and Sally.
I don't know, but anyway, right, so Debbie and Carl come back from Glossop later, and it went well. They've got what they need to out of it, and Sean makes a funny quip about it not being often that you see someone with a vendetta against the dementia choir. This is what people want to see,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah,
they
this
just
is
talk
way more
about dementia
interesting.
choirs for 2 scenes over 4 episodes. Flipping show it. Nobody wants to see. I don't know. Maybe am I just being grumpy about this? But it feels like the stories that people are really invested in are getting shoved to the sidelines in favour of more skulking and ginnels.
I understand the need to have like really important A stories that because you have to have something to go on the soap mags, and I do think a lot of it is driven by the soap magazines, because if on the front cover you've got like, I don't know, what's Mandy Dingle back from the dead, and like Queen Vic explodes and dementia choir drama from Coronation Street, it looks a bit bad on Corrie's front, right? So you've got to have something big happening in a week, but they've had so many other things happening. You can have buggering around with dementia choirs.
Yeah, they totally
That could be the B story all week, and you'd still have a front cover.
Yeah, I know.
With people looking sad about something.
Anyway, Tracy comes in and is like, aha, Carl, that was you that I smashed the statue over their head of earlier. It was quite funny. When
she hit him with a vase.
Oh yeah, it was a vase, wasn't it?
You're
Sorry,
just remembering a different.
I'm remembering a different person that she conked over the head with a statue
I don't remember
20 years ago.
Walking into mid burglary and start doing a sexy dance.
Anyway, she's like, he says, no, I've been with Debbie actually, and I've got photo evidence to prove it. So Tracy sits there chewing a wasp while Debbie sends her on her way.
And yeah, then the big reveal is it was Dylan.
The big reveal.
It wasn't Carl. As though Tracy couldn't work out he got someone else to do it. Weird.
I mean, they have the same proportions. Can you? I don't know.
It's irrelevant. It's really irrelevant who did it. It was Carl's idea.
Yeah, and why was
Carl kind of wants her to think it was him because he wants her to know it was a warning to stop annoying him about.
Well, he ramps it up again later, doesn't he, in the episode? Anyway, at home later, Kevin tells Abi that Tracy has called him to the pub because she wants to tell him something about a contract for van servicing. And Abi's obviously bricking it and thinking, uh-oh, is Tracy going to reveal to everybody that I'm secretly having an affair with his brother? But no, she doesn't.
Just tell him, you dog.
She's just about to. Possibly, but then she gets this video call from Carl, who is
so weird.
He's found himself into number 1, and he's having a chat with Ken about Bill, isn't he, about his dad.
Yeah.
And Ken thinks that he's a lovely man, but Carl's there, kind of using it as a veiled threat, saying, "Well, if you tell, what was he going to do?
I don't know.
What was he going to do to Ken?
Beat him up.
Nothing.
Everyone would know it was him.
Yeah.
Ken would know.
Bizarre.
You don't need to befriend Ken to beat him up.
No, well, I suppose that, just because you know it was him, it's Ken. If then Ken's dead at the end of it, that's still pretty sad.
I think the problem with it is that we know that he's not going to kill like the main character of Coronation Street.
I know, nobody was sitting there watching it going, oh no, Ken, get away from him, he's behind you.
Sorry, Carl, you are in no way a significant enough character for this to be of any way a threat.
Just imagine that, if Ken was killed off by Carl Webster.
To cover up his sordid affair with Abi.
Honestly.
I think everyone would riot. It was bad enough when Cassie tried to poison him.
Well, anyway, it does a good enough job for now because Tracy doesn't reveal the affair to all and sundry, and she instead scarpers back to number 1 to rescue her dad from the clutches of evil Carl Webster. I think they need to make this more camp and cheesy, this storyline, because that's what it is. It's just silly, isn't it? How would you make this camper and cheesier?
Just make it lean into the fact this is stupid.
How?
I don't know. It's not my job
feels
to know
really
that.
dark and grubby, doesn't it?
I know.
I'm still watching it going, I really, really despise the character of Abi at the moment. And hating myself for thinking of it.
Every year, Corrie seems to want to do a summer sexy story that makes everyone hate themselves.
Well, one year it's Ardy, this year it's this.
Yeah.
Why, Abi? She was like one of the best characters.
Do you really not like her anymore now?
No.
I don't care at all.
I love Sally Carman and I love Abby's history with the show, but I just watch her now and I just kind of I almost got a sneer on my face because of how disgusted I am with her behaviour.
I think what I'm waiting for is for her to find out and get revenge on Carl, and I'm looking forward to that. I just think the thing is, right, if I really like a character and they do something like this, I just go, oh, it's just the script.
I know.
So I forgive her, but you can't.
I probably will. That's the problem. But I just really wish that they hadn't done this. And the fact that the story is going on and on and on.
No, hang on. There's loads of really interesting and unique scenes of them in bed together in the hotel.
It just feels like it's on repeat, doesn't it? If it was a quick... We had the chance for there to nearly be an affair, and I'm going back a couple of months now, and Corrie's like, no, we're going to have that affair.
What affair?
But then the other, I mean, I'm still thinking, well, yeah, Abi and Kevin never really were suited for each other, were they?
Do you think that he's going to run off? Do you think that Carl's going to run off with James at the end of it? Do you think he just really loves James? He seems to not be into Abi whatsoever. Is he into anybody, or is he just...
He's just out for what he can get for himself, isn't he? He's got no feelings or affection whatsoever for James, even fewer than he's got for Abi. I mean, we know that he isn't interested in a long-term history with Abi. He doesn't want her coming back to Germany with him. He doesn't want to be raising Alpha as his son. He just wants a bit of lady nookie in between his man nookie in the hotel. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not got a third person on the go.
Honestly, I literally cannot believe Raphael is letting Debbie down like this and not reporting on how many times people
I thought you were going to suggest that Carl and Raphael were having an affair then. You never know. He's always got a smile on his face, hasn't he?
Raphael is probably the most fun out of those.
Raphael, he was in the background. Was it Friday's episode? Oh, was it the careers fair? Wasn't it? I was like, come on, give him a line. Come on.
A drink with him than James or Abi at the moment, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We should write in.
But as I say, Carl's not invested in an emotional affair.
Yeah, we don't want him to break Raphael's heart, do we?
No. Speaking of background extras, did anybody spot Dirk with his glasses on Fridays?
Sexy specs.
Dirk in the factory.
Incarnated.
He was like
the new version.
He was like Clark Kent there, wasn't he, reading his newspaper?
Yeah, it was.
I want to know what's going on in that story, I tell you. Anyway.
So this whole time, do you think he's had X-ray vision? Because that's why Clark Kent has to put the glasses on so he doesn't laser people in the face. Is that not right?
I think he's just realised, like Roy, that there comes a time in your life when you just got to embrace the short-sightedness and get yourself a pair of goggles.
I know what's happened.
What?
Roy's got himself buy one get one free and he didn't want it to go to waste, so he gave it to Dirk.
I don't know. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Monday's episode, so we're into this week at last. And Abi starts the episode, lying her head off to Kevin, who wants to know why she got back late last night. She says, I've just got chatting to Wendy.
Wendy Crozier?
Yeah, Wendy Flaming Papadopoulos Nay Crozier. Well, maybe not Nay Crozier.
Why is she still hanging about?
She's not. It's just her excuse. Although I did see a few people online asking, like, who's babysitting Alfie at the moment? It's not Emily Bishop. At least we know that if Alpha needs babysitting, Wendy Papadopoulos. You can't. It's so bizarre, isn't it, that this character from the 80s, so well known for her illicit affair with Ken, is still there rocking away in the background, unseen. Nearly 40 years later.
Do you know what?
Babysitting Kevin's stepson.
Do you know what they need on Corrie that they don't have at all? It's just a creche.
Yeah.
That would actually be a really good business for somebody to open a creche.
It would.
Because then we'd have all the tiresome children in one spot.
Well, the community centre, that could become one.
Put it in there. Don't have to show them. You just have to have the sound of children being annoying. Play that, and then I'll be convinced.
Anyway, so Kevin's looking worried about Abi's late coming home last night, because he's thinking there's definitely something going on here. And as the week goes on, it all pretty much unravels for him. And Abby's back at the old sex hotel with Carl later, and they're just pretty chuffed with themselves that they're getting away with this whole thing, and how can Kevin be so blind about it. And Carl says, look, I begged Tracy to back off with the money, and Abby believes him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't say, I was
threatened to kill Ken.
No, not straight away anyway. It comes out later, doesn't it? Because Abby goes to the shop and says to Tracy, well, thanks very much for backing off with the money. And
That's
Tracy's
called
like,
poking a bear.
no, actually, I didn't back off. Your fancy piece threatened my dad. And he had somebody trash this place too. And maybe at this point, Abby had the opportunity to go, I think that he's a nasty piece of work. But no, she goes back to the hotel and he's like, I was only bluffing on Ken. He's the, I want to kill Ken. He's indestructible anyway.
I don't get why Tracy didn't just go, well, screw you. I'm going to tell Kevin and I'm going to tell my dad that he threatened you because I knew about the affair. Why didn't you just come clean? Who cares now? Just blow it all up.
I also didn't really...
Ken's not dumb.
I didn't particularly enjoy Ken being taken for a ride, because this is the same Ken who took down vile Cassie earlier this year.
He's like, I drank the poison on purpose because I like it.
He was the one that did the old, I'm pretending to be asleep and I'm going to open my eye and reveal that I've caught you. And to have him being taken advantage of by this loser who's, Johnny come lately Carl Webster. I think that Ken's a smarter cookie than that.
He knows what life's about, that man.
Yeah. Anyway, Abby goes back to Carl, as I say, and she says, well, did you threaten Ken? He's like, fair cop, I did. I was only bluffing though. I'd never hurt Ken, it worked. And Abby's like, okay, just don't do it again, because I really, really fancy you. And it's things like this that make it really difficult. Shall we shag?
Yeah.
So they do, probably. James is ringing Carl at this point, isn't he? And Carl ignores the message because he is otherwise engaged
this man,
in Abby's tonsils and other lady parts.
If he spent more time earning money than he did shagging about, he wouldn't have any troubles with his owing people cash.
He's like a sex addict, isn't he?
Maybe he is like, is it David Duchovny? Is he cured now? How did he cure it?
Does he work at the garage anymore? I don't remember. Or does he literally just spend his life in that bed?
Maybe he has to work there now because Tyrone's sad in bed.
Yes. I think Brody is single-handedly running the garage at some points this week.
I don't get it. It's so weird to me, like, the whole story's boring.
It really is, isn't it? It really, really is. So Abby gets home later and Kevin says, look, there was a text. It was only in the episode he gets a text and he says it's Tyrone, but it's not. It's actually from the hospital. He has to go to a surveillance appointment. And it's to check that he's not his cancer anymore. And he's like, oh, now I've remembered about how I lied to you, about how I had cancer. Remember that? That was stupid, wasn't it? And, aren't lies terrible? I'm so sorry, Abby. And Abby's like, oh, it's just a little fib. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Karma's going to get him.
Carla's going to get him.
Karma. Oh. Sally Karma. He's worried that, like, the universe being ironic will give him cancer because he said he had it. And it does work exactly like that, so he's right to be scared.
Yeah, but he's fine though. He's all right. Wednesday comes round and Debbie's popping round number 13 to drive Kev to his appointment.
Everyone's falling over themselves to help him with this.
He's a frail old man. He should be the one that Carl's taken advantage of, not Ken.
Yeah.
He's dodderier.
Carl's like, if you tell Tracy, if you tell Kevin, I'll kill him. Hang on, this doesn't work.
This doesn't work. Anyway, Abby is texting Carl to say, don't know whether I can meet you today. Kev's got his appointment and I probably should go to that. So they go to...
Why can't they just text you and tell you? I hate this. It made me feel sick.
What do you think the NHS app is for? Thumbs up emoji.
Sometimes
good,
on
Kev.
there, though, you can find stuff out they haven't even told you about because your results get put on there.
How else would you...
Why do they bring you in and go...
Maybe you'd use the particularly hairy kiwi emoji and the thumbs up to show that everything's going
I guess if you only went in when you were ill, you would know and it would make you feel bad.
Yeah.
What's the psychology behind this? There must be a way of... I don't think they're very good at all with helping people psychologically cope with any of this, the NHS. I know they don't think it is their job, but I kind of think it should be. Do you not think? It's horrible.
Anyway, the consultant says there's no cancer present, so that's lovely.
No, he said there's no active cancer present.
No active cancer present. No, there's dormant.
Some lazy stuff in there, but don't worry about it.
Kevin's obviously very chuffed about this, but I thought that Abby's reaction was bizarre there because is she hoping that he's going to die of cancer so that she doesn't have to lie to him anymore?
She's just realised that this will, like, she has to decide. She's got to end it. Like, she was kind of focused on the cancer as like a reason why she couldn't do anything with Carl, right? But now there's nothing stopping her. She's got to now make a move, and she knows that it's going to hurt him. That's what I think. Like, she knows the gig's up now. You've got to decide one way or the other. Never. Are you going to carry on living with this man, wait for him to die of something else,
or not,
or go and live in Germany with lovely Carl?
Yes, yeah.
And send your bottles back to the shop for €15.
Debbie tells Carl the good news later and says, "Oh, maybe we should have a drink to celebrate." Great. So she heads off home just as James comes in. This was in the hotel room again, wasn't it? And Carl says, "Oh, James, I fancy booking in another PT session today." And James, "Oh no, this is in the cafe, wasn't it? Sorry, this is in the cafe." And James says, "Sorry, I've got actual clients today. Ones that I'm not actually bonking. But maybe we could meet up later, around about 6 o'clock, about the same time that you're supposed to be having this well done, Kevin, you've not got cancer anymore party. Lovely, see you there." So Kevin gets home. Abby's there as well. And he's like, what's up with you? Did I say something wrong? This is the scene that we paused and spent about 10 minutes critiquing the decor in number 13's kitchen, wasn't it? Because we were finding a lot of the rest of the action relatively unengaging. So we just paused it and was like, what's going on in here?
It's really...
I challenge anybody listening to find a worse piece of interior decor, not just now, but in the entirety of Corrie's history, than that hideous red sports car that Kevin and Abi have got adorning the wall in their kitchen.
It's a red sports car in front of the Eiffel Tower. That is classy, that is.
It's just horrible.
I think
absolutely horrid.
It's so bad I don't even think they sell it in IKEA.
Kevin doesn't strike me as somebody who's got terrible taste. Is it supposed to be like a tribute to Hilda's Muriel?
I think he's got good taste, Michael.
I wouldn't say he's got good taste, but
I'm also going to point out we don't have the best interior decoration in this house.
Excuse me, we're sitting in front of a wall of Coronation Street pictures, and then just the other across the room we've got Nintendo pictures. So
I think a lot of people would say that his one is better than.
We don't have it front and center in the kitchen. It's absolutely disgusting. It's hideous.
Our kitchen,
the epitome of tackiness.
Is stylish because we have 2 certificates from the marmalade competition, from My Marmalade, silver and bronze, and we have a golden lobster. And
that's just a tribute to Deirdre, isn't it?
A picture of my great ancestors, who I don't really know who they are, but one of them looks like he could have been Jack the Ripper.
We also, you pointed out that they've got the same picture of Alfie twice.
Yes, they do.
Alfie in the snow. We've only taken 2 pictures of Alfie because he's never in it. He's always over at Wendy's house. Clearly,
they've not taken 2 pictures. They've got one picture.
Sorry.
Twice.
Yeah, it's him in the snow, and they've got a little mini one on the windowsill when they're doing the washing up in the kitchen, and the other one they got massive behind the door.
I never noticed.
I hate that. I've never noticed it before either, but they did it. We noticed it when we went to we were looking behind the scenes. And we went to the Metcalf's house, and there's quite a few repeats of pictures in Sally's house. Like, here's Tim and the horse. Just across the other room, here's Tim and the horse again, the same photo. Here's 3 copies of her electoral poster for when she was running for mayor.
Because they've obviously printed them out in different sizes.
Yeah.
It's not like they went, print 5 of these, because we might need a backup. They've gone, I'm going to do an A4, an A5.
It's not even that great a picture, is it?
Well...
Come on. Anyway.
The decor's rubbish.
Number 13 needs a bit of a...
No, I think it's...
it's
it's what they like, innit?
Well, I mean, I suppose he's at least
Maybe
he's
just
covered
done
up the serving hatch hole,
Yeah.
hasn't he? With that strange silver, I don't know what it is.
Do you know what would class the place up more?
What?
Some Bernie boudoir pictures, like Dev's got.
Oh, yeah. Some saucy pictures of Abi doing her model poses.
No, Bernie.
Oh, just Bernie over in Kevin's
Everyone
house.
should have a copy of that. I'm going to write in and ask if I can have one. Maybe that's what a cast card is.
You do get some men, I suppose, that just like to have fancy cars up on their walls.
Yeah.
I don't
Cars
know.
are one of the most boring things in the world, though.
would say so.
I'm going to confidently state that they are incredibly dull.
Anyway,
There's really not like almost anything else I can understand, but cars are boring.
Kevin declares
Sorry.
that he wants to get a dog now. And Gemma's like, yes, please. Another dog on Coronation Street. I say yes to that. But Abby's like, no.
No.
Not having a dog.
Think of the insurance and the chaperones.
She says, I'm not ready to think about the future yet. Don't get a dog. Don't do it without
I
asking
like it
me.
when she was like, please don't get a dog without asking me.
Read my
I'm gonna
lips,
leave
no dog.
you. I don't
Don't want to give you the
Listen.
responsibility of a dog at your age.
He's not gonna die before the dog dies. He's got a good 15, 20 years left, right? Let him get a dog and then he can cry into its fur when you leave him.
Yeah, that's a good backup
I'd say,
plan,
yeah,
actually,
you should
having
get a dog because you're not having a wife. See you later.
So she pours water all over his canine ambitions there, but then and then she gets summoned out to the ginnel again. And once again, I will say, why do they keep meeting there?
Talk loudly in the ginnel.
It's literally right outside the back of your house. Every time they do it, I think that they're going to pan to somebody listening on the other side of the wall, but they never do. But
What's the physics of how people can sometimes hear things from very far away, but nobody hears anything in that ginnel when it's Abi and Carl?
Anyway, she says to him, look, Kevin's just told me he wants a fresh start, but Carl, I just want to be with you. I love you more than anything. It's vile. Who is...
Michael, you don't understand love.
I don't understand their love. Well, he doesn't love her, does he?
Look,
what does she see in him?
It doesn't matter. You just have to... right, okay. We know people who've dated people that just are rubbish. And they don't seem to get it.
But
that this
Abby's
person
more
is
switched
rubbish.
on than this.
No. But
Surely she
love,
can see a wrong un like him a mile away.
Love is blind. I don't know. You can't...
She needs a pair of glasses like Dirk and Roy.
There's nothing more stupid than somebody who's in love who also likes cars.
Oh.
So
He's like, oh, I promise we'll be together forever. But then when they have a hug, he's looking worried over the shoulder.
he's like, oh, I've got to go back to Germany.
I really hope he
did
comes
that not work?
to a sticky, horrible end. Like, what would be the perfect send-off for Carl? Like,
Run
I think
over
he
by
needs,
a car.
I think something like that. Run over by a car that he's sent off
Dylan
with an
drives
MOT when it shouldn't have got one, and the brakes fail and plough into him and like smear him across the cobbles. That would be perfect for him.
Tell you what, the wheels of justice turning very slowly on this car business for Ollie. Ollie's doing something about this car, isn't he?
Oh yeah, something.
And why it seems to be seriously the longest they've ever spent on a case.
I don't
Isn't it?
know.
How much work is involved in this, Dee Dee? Walking around with folders all the time and briefcases. What is in there? Is it just drawings of cars?
Don't let Kev see it, otherwise you'll be nicking it and mounting it.
Put that look lovely in my kitchen. Can you draw it in? Can you colour it in red for me?
Anyway, speaking of pictures of cars,
If you had
Kevin
a sports
showed-
car, what
Yes.
would be the colour you'd want it to be?
I don't know.
Would you like a green one or an orange one?
I would like a lovely, bright, bold colour.
Not green though. Green's an unlucky colour.
Kevin shows Abby this Ford Capri later, a wreck, and he's like, "Oh, we could have a project and do a car together."
Now that actually seems fun. As boring as cars are, that would be a good thing to do. It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, but with spark
I'm
plugs.
just going to look at what a Ford Capri is.
He Abby's like, no, look, I can't do this, can't do any of this, and then finally, at last, she's like, I think we should split up.
Yeah.
Shocker. At flipping last, Abby.
Maybe she doesn't even like cars.
Do you reckon?
That's what a Ford Capri is.
Okay.
It's alright.
So Kevin's like, I didn't see this coming whatsoever, despite the many, many clues that there have been over the last few months. What's going on? Why would you be saying this? It's Carl, isn't it? And she's like,
No, it's cars.
Nothing to do with Carl. Definitely not sneaking off to the sex hotel every opportunity that I can for a quick bunk up with him. And he's like, no, I don't believe you, actually. She says, I love you, Kevin, but I'm not in love with you. It's just so cheesy and cliche. But then they can't really go much further with that conversation because little Jack wobbles in. And Debbie says...
No, he's not little.
He's bigger. Big Jack comes in. He says, it's an emergency at the pub. Debbie's told you you got to go over and see her right now. And so Abi follows him and tells Kev, well, our drama's just going to have to wait. Let's see what's going on with Debbie. I hope her dementia's not playing up again. So, Debbie, always a highlight of the episode, tries to celebrate their good news with a blooming great news balloon that pops up from behind her, which was great stuff. And she gets the drinks in and saying, oh, where's Carl at the moment? We know he's with James. It's just all very awkward for Abi and Kevin because they've got a rather important conversation that they should be having.
She's doing that classic steamrollering over the conversation to insist that they drink champagne and celebrate and just not letting them say a word about why they look miserable.
Yeah.
And not even noticing that they look miserable.
Kevin always looks like his face is falling. Yeah, but Abi, I don't know. Anyway, she eventually senses the atmosphere between husband and wife, and Kev says, I want to go on. He was just like an old man, isn't he? No, this is like me, actually.
I know.
If somebody told me, come to the pub, Michael, it's an emergency. Firstly, I'd be like, I don't even know where the pub is. But once I manage to find it, I'd just be, I don't feel comfortable in this place. I need to get away from here. But Kevin's not.
If I said to you, come to the pub, where would you go? There isn't one, is there?
We don't have a pub near us. It's the perfect locale.
I literally can't think where there is
where our nearest boozer is. I've got no clue. Anyway,
no, there isn't one.
So anyway, Kevin's saying that he wants to go home, and then Carl turns up.
We've got Greg's.
And Kevin pushes him out the back and says, I know you've been lying to me. I know that something's going on. And Carl, still in denial here to Kevin, saying, no, nothing's happening. I'm not bonking your wife. But Kevin's not having any of it. Carl says, look, mate, I'd hardly do your wife while you were fighting cancer, would you? I'm not some monster. I'd never betray my own flesh and blood. Oh, I hate him so much. And then Kevin calms down.
So
and it's like,
funny.
oh no, I just can't stand Carl. I think they've brought in Carl as a character to try and make me like Kit more.
Oh, is it working?
Yeah, I think it is.
Excellent.
I don't watch Kit and go, oh my god, I really hate you, like I do Carl. Oh yeah, vile man, horrible. Ugh. Anyway, Kevin's calmed down a little bit later and says, oh, Carl, Abby's leaving me. Who's going to wash my pants now? Then Abi, Speak of the Devil, comes out, and she's a devil at the moment, sits next to him as Carl gets up and goes, and she says to Kevin, well, look, Kevin, we had a good run. You saved my life after Seb died. You helped me get back on a good path. Cheers for that, mate. I owe you everything. But you wouldn't want me to stay just out of gratitude, would you? You're a good, kind man. I know you'll find someone else. Oh dear. See, I still think that Jenny should have a pop at Kevin. She doesn't. I don't see that. I don't see what Jenny is going gaga about George about, but at least Jenny and Kevin have had some sort of history together.
I think Kevin is like the ultimate version of a bloke who just gave up.
He is the pinnacle of masculinity.
He's the like, I don't care because I've got a bird and I've got a job, and I'm not going to put any effort into like cultivating any sort of personality beyond cars and moaning about things.
Cars, beer, and moaning.
He's really,
maybe he needs
miserable,
to have a makeover.
He's gotten worse all the time. He's
I know.
Miserable.
He used to be so chipper. Remember when him and Terry and Curly used to be playing their instruments in the Rovers? Remember that picture?
No.
Well, yeah, what was it? What did he do that play? For? Was it? Oh, I don't know, banjo or something. Yeah, he used to be such a life and soul.
He's such a miserable old fart.
He's a popper. They've taken the Kev the crank and then...
Yeah, when she says, oh, sorry, Kevin, you'll find someone else. I'm like, what, who? Somebody who's like really unfortunate.
In some ways...
The saddest woman in the world.
I mean, the fact that he managed to end up with a woman who's interested in cars just as much as he is...
It's astonishing.
Yeah. Maybe it's
almost like it's made up.
What was that? Who was that lady that Demi? She's into man's things, isn't she? Remember Steve's bit on the side?
Is it man's things or is it just things that men like?
I don't know, but
I'm watching the women's rugby, Michael.
how
I'm
are we
very
doing?
progressive
Still,
and feminist.
we got twice as many points as Canada has at the moment.
know.
That's good. Okay, so anyway, she says, "I'm sorry, it's over. I'm sorry." And she gets up and leaves him alone in the shelter. And the camera pans out, and it's just all a load of misery. So Carl strides up to Abi in the Ginnel later, their favourite meeting spot that's not 5 stars, and says, "What do you think you're doing there?" She's gutted about how much she's broken Kevin's heart, and when it all comes out about her, she says the street's going to have a field day. Carl's like, "Well, maybe then we should keep our affair under wraps for a bit longer." Oh no! How long? When do you think this story is going to end? Because I need to book in a party for that day.
Easter.
Do you reckon it could keep going that long?
I don't know. Honestly, it feels like it's like you said. Was there a time it wasn't going?
It feels like surely the big reveal to everybody has got to be. It's got to be soon because
it's like it's the only thing that's interesting about this is what are people going to say about it. But honestly, at this point, there's nothing they can say that's going to be sufficiently interesting to me.
Even the James angle is somewhat interesting.
I honestly think that they're going to blow up before everyone finds out.
Do you?
Yeah, I think that she's going to find out about James, and then she'll tell everybody that he's a cheating scumbag, and everyone will be like, "Oh, the man you cheated with cheated on you." That's a really interesting development that nobody saw coming.
I want her to find out about James, and then just
get mad,
castrate the guy, and serve him the winnings. She needs something. She needs to go on this ultimate vengeful rampage
she
against
blows up
this
cars.
utter dog. She does blow up cars.
She needs to go back to being the proper arse kicker that we know and love.
Anyway, Carl is back in the hotel later, and then he gets a lovely text from Abi, but James knocks on the door, and it's like he's come in for this workout that they were talking about earlier. And Carl's like, "Sorry, I can't. I've got stuff on." So he blows out James, and James is like, "Fair enough."
I've never heard of blows out. I've only ever heard blows off.
Sorry, he blows off.
No, but that's what they said. Blow out. That's
they?
what they used that phrase this week.
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody else said it.
So James is like, "Fire." Do you think?
Oh gosh, boring as hell.
He's probably getting himself in the mood.
Wednesday.
We're on Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyway, James has clearly got other options for satisfying his urges, and he goes off and...
I don't care about any of this.
Goes and sees Raphael, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not concerned about his urges.
No. Yeah, I think that Abi needs to find out about James. Definitely.
Yes.
And soon. And bloody soon.
And what is James going to say? Because does James know that he doesn't know that?
No, James doesn't know. Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen is Abi going to find out about James first, or is James going to find out about Abi? Or will they find out at the same time?
Some people don't care, and I don't get it.
The fact that James was like, "Oh, fair enough, see you tomorrow," then shows that he's got no ties, commitments whatsoever. Totally casual. So if he's like, "Oh, you're bonking Abi, are you?" Fair enough. I don't know whether he'd be bothered. But Abi thinks that she's got the perfect fella here, doesn't she? She thinks that this is the one for keeps.
Knock yourself out.
So I wonder, maybe it'd be interesting if James finds out first, and then he has to decide whether he should tell Abi. Somebody needs to flip and find out, because they're not exactly being subtle about it, are they? Honestly, everyone's going around with their eyes shut.
I'm not worried about it.
I think Dirk, now he's got his new glasses, should spot them.
He'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah. So, speaking of interior decor choices,
go on then, tell me what.
The episode ends in Debbie's new flat.
I did not even notice this the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
What a blind idiot.
So the lights were off. It's night time. Kevin's gone to visit Debbie over in the flat above the streetcar's office, which we've seen the front door of it now. It's very garish and purple and very, very Debbie. The interior now, we just didn't get a good shot of it. I hope we get to see more of it next week.
She's dead into mood lighting.
She's Debbified the whole place. It's all kind of, is it like purples and teals and there's a giant gold cat?
It's jungle themed. I'm really into that. I hope she's got that peacock lamp from Next that they have in the traitors.
She had what was it? She had the book.
She had a giant panther.
No, she had
Persiana.
Yeah,
I've got that recipe book. Very good. It's very good for salads.
But anyway, there's more of this.
Get yourself your pomegranate molasses.
She's saying, look, I don't get what's going on. I don't believe that Carl and Abi will be having it off though. So you can put that right out of your head, Kevin. No way. And he says, well, I did catch them flirting on CCTV once. And all the listeners were like, did you? I don't remember. I certainly was anyway. She's like, no, you're just in shock, Kevin. You're looking for a reason for why this happened. But sometimes they just do. Sometimes women are just bitches like old Abi.
Sometimes they're just slags.
Sometimes they just don't like staying with doddery old men anymore like you. Just get over it, Kevin. He says, well, tell you what, moment Carl turned up, Abba changed. And if she's left me for him, I'll kill the pair of them.
Will you?
There we go. So, Friday, back to a Friday again. This was yesterday, Friday. Abby slept on the sofa. I mean, it's quite brazen of her to have stayed at number 13 whatsoever. Is Wendy Papadopoulos not got a spare room done up for her?
Can't she go stay at the sex hotel? It's got a bed in it. They know they've got a bed.
There's one or two
room for two in there.
I've never seen more than one at once, though. Kevin's like, what are you doing here? And she sits with Kev as a bit of a sympathetic shoulder for him, but he's not really into it. So Tracy goes over to Abby in the shop later, and she says, I've heard the news. How you and Kevin are split up. You still seeing Carlo, I assume? He's bad news. He'd done over my shop. And Abby's like, no, I'm not. I don't need any of this, Tracy. You make me sick, and storm out. She's got no flipping friends left.
I make you sick.
She's going to have no friends left after this. What is going on?
You absolute tart.
So anyway, she makes her way to, I guess where? Yes, the hotel again. And she's there as Carl is texting James. We're getting no response. James is maybe is a little bit more...
He's over it.
Yeah.
Well,
They get back into bed. They've got no clothes on. Rinse and repeat.
Can't believe it.
And she says to Carl, I'm feeling really guilty and sad about what's going on here. Can we just run away now? Me, you, Alfie, Germany. Let's do it.
Where in Germany are you going?
And he's like, no, I don't really fancy it at the moment. Doesn't seem like a realistic option.
He pulls Debbie out the bag, doesn't he? He's like, number one, we don't have any money. And she goes, I don't care. Number two, what about Debbie's getting dementia?
My sister's got dementia.
And he's like, I'm worried about her at the moment. She's getting worse. She's not going to get better, you numbskull. What do you mean?
And she's not seemingly getting any
She's
worse.
She's fine.
At the
She's
moment.
got a giant gold leopard.
Yeah, she's living her best life. Carl, you can bog off. You don't need to stay here
Go to
this
Germany,
long.
you creep.
Abby says, oh, Debbie's so lucky to have a brother like you. Fine, let's keep this secret for another... How long's she in the show for? 2027? Yeah, let's do it.
What boring.
We just got to be patient, he says. So Debbie, at the end of the episode, walks into Carl's room. Abby pops out the bathroom, and just as I was about to think... Debbie is going to rumble them.
No, this is very significant.
Well,
she catches
them, but Abby says, I just came round to give him his wages. And Debbie says, what did she say? Like, you're still paying cash, do you? So
she doesn't believe it.
She was suspicious. And she says, look, are you two? And Carl says, no, don't be so stupid. It felt a little bit like she was appeased by him. But I certainly hope that those wheels are going to start turning when she gets talking to Kevin.
When Kevin's like, they're having an affair, and she's like, I don't think so. And then she goes to the hotel and they're there in the room together, and she's like, okay.
But she's got a very easy way of finding out, surely.
What do you mean?
Literally, just check the CCTV
she
in
owns
your own
the
establishment.
Hotel. She's paying. She's paying for them to shack up together, because this is... I'm sure that Carl's not paying for her room.
I think she can ask Raphael. Have you seen this woman? Oh, yes. She comes round here at least once a day.
Yeah, she's always here.
Yeah.
She's insatiable.
There's a very, very easy way of unravelling this sordid affair now, Debbie. If only you thought about it. I certainly hope that happens next week. If
Abby really is serious about moving to Germany, let's see her Duolingo streak.
Yeah.
She said she'd learn it. She said she'd learn German. I bet she can't. But she didn't even try.
Yeah. Right, anyway, that's what's going on with the Abby storyline. It's bloody miserable.
Right.
But at least there has been a development of them splitting up just for the larks.
It's oh god, it's worse now because Kevin's even more bloody miserable.
It's such a horrible,
He's such
horrible
a
storyline.
miserable man.
I don't enjoy it whatsoever. Right, what's going on with Todd and Theo, Gemma? Noah, he's dead, isn't he?
Do you know what? I find, and I don't know if this is controversial, I think that I hate Theo more when he's being nice. He creeps me out.
He was proper creep. Was it yesterday's episode when he was like, "Hey kids, we're gonna have some Vietnamese food and you're gonna have a lovely time here." He was just overdoing the enthusiastic dad routine. The Weasley twins weren't having any of it.
I'm not gonna. Whenever we criticise characters, people seem to take it as like open season on the actors, and it is not about that. But he was acting a bit like a children's television presenter who ends up with allegations. It's just being really weird and creepy. So on Friday they're moving in, aren't they, to the new place? And Theo's grumpy, and he's mad that the things aren't packed away, and he's tripping over boxes. He's got his court case coming up
for the custody
of the children
who don't want him,
who are probably in their 30s. I'm surprised they don't have their own children.
I do in this instance kind of feel for him, because as much as Danielle deserves to be a raging bitch, I don't think she does have the right to stop him from seeing them.
I don't understand why anybody thought that he wouldn't get to see his children. It seems like, I guess I understand why he was stressed, but I don't know why I was supposed to be stressed about it, because I don't like any of them. And also, I don't think it would make any sense if he wasn't allowed to see them. So,
no.
Anyway, he's just stressed out, and so Billy comes in, and I also still don't get, and I know that he's being coercive, and Theo's separating Todd from all of his backup support, and you can tell it's happening. But we also don't get why, if Theo said I don't like him around you because he's at your ex, why they don't just stop rubbing it in his face every time they get together.
Todd's like, no, Billy's all right. You ain't got anything to worry about.
I don't think it's mature at all to like have a ban on somebody seeing their friends or their exes or whatever. But I also don't. It seems like they're being way more friends with each other than they were.
I know.
Anyway, so Billy comes over. He's got this plant, and Todd's like, "Oh, Theo's really on edge." But so between them, they decide, let's get everything sorted out so that it'll be nice and ready for when he comes back, so he doesn't have to worry about at least this. Then he calls in Brian and George, and nobody seems to be putting anything away. They're just standing around.
I love how nobody's saying, why Brian? I kind of get George, because George can't keep away because he's very lonely and rattling around at number 11. He's got to get his minimum
episode count in.
But Brian, yeah. We also had minimum episode count appearances from Kirk and Chesney on Friday, didn't we? Walking through, what were they talking about? I can't remember. Walking through the precinct talking about something or other.
But I also like this like sly insinuation that Dee Dee's a slovenly cow, because they're spraying everything and cleaning everything like she's been rolling around in dirt in there. Like Brian's like, "Oh, you got to clean everything." I bet you Dee Dee has had that place completely spotless.
You reckon?
I reckon she bleached the hell out of everything before she went.
She's a hard-working single female lawyer. She hasn't got time for sanitation.
She's a tidy lady, that one. Anyway, so they're all helping out.
Oh yeah, Christina comes round as well, doesn't she?
But before then,
I'm loving the Christina return, and the fact that she's now elbowing into other people's stories. Like, I'm having all of this.
Yeah, I want to be in Coronation Street.
I literally, I've got no idea how long she's staying for. She may be a permanent, in inverted commas, character at the moment. She could be going next week.
She could be going next year. She could be going in 10 years. I don't know.
But I really have no idea.
Yeah. She's a proper classic Corrie character.
She's a, we've lost some matriarchs this year, and I think she slots in just absolutely perfectly.
She's perfect.
Corrie bosses, can you see this? The only reason I can think of, well, maybe two, is why they wouldn't be wanting to keep her on full time is A, Amy Robbins doesn't want to, and B, maybe she's a bit expensive.
Maybe.
But they're shedding cast members left, right and centre. Surely there's a bit of Amy cash in there.
Must be.
Keep her Coronation Street. She's amazing.
Everyone send me £1 and I'll make sure it gets to Corrie to keep Amy on.
But anyway, I'm just savouring every minute that she's in the programme.
This is what I mean.
Every scene that she's in, I'm like,
there are some characters who are just, like the delicious condiment that you don't want it. You can't eat a spoonful of it, but you need it with every meal, don't you?
And I mean, she is guilty of some of the things that I'm not happy with Abi about, because she's also a liar, she's manipulative, she's sneaky. But that's her character. Abi's character isn't that, but she's become that this year. And nobody's going, oh yeah, Abi, go on, you stick it to Kevin. He's going to feel like such an idiot. But with Kevin, it's like, yeah, Christina, sorry. You're like, yeah.
But Christina has fun doing it. Abby spent the whole time going,
yeah.
Right, so, before Christina comes round, Theo walks in on Billy and Todd having a big hug.
Oh yeah, they've got their arms around each other, haven't they?
And I don't know what. Okay, whatever.
Billy is going to end up with a Theo's fist-shaped hole in his face if he's not careful.
It's
I wouldn't want to be riling up anyone with as massive arms as Theo.
No, it's not. They wouldn't. It doesn't deserve it, but it is strange. They're so much friendlier than they've ever been. It's almost like it's made up.
They've got history.
So Christina comes round, joining the party. Mary's there. Theo is like you would be. Like, can everyone go away? Like, I don't want people around my house. You love karaoke, so you wouldn't mind that bit.
Yeah, I'd be all
but he's like stressed about his court case. The house is a tip. I think it's still a tip when they're there. And now everyone's having a party. And Mary and Christina fight over the mic. And then Theo tries to get her to go or do something. And
he tries to get rid of Christina.
He tries to grab the mic off her, and she's like, I know about men like you. Don't scare me. I know exactly what kind of a bloke you are. And I love that because she was like properly standing up to him. But also the brazenness of being at someone's house and drinking their champagne and you hate them.
Yeah.
Just go home, Christina.
Love it. She can help take him down. Yes, please.
And this was, again, this creepy mask that Theo wears of this air of jolly... It's like fragile jollity, isn't it? It's like, he's so scary. He's scarier to me when he's like that, because when he's having a go, you know that's the real Theo.
Mm.
Anyway, so they eventually manage to get everybody out. And then as soon as everybody leaves, Theo's like mad. And then he goes and has a shower and he comes out. He has a go at Todd and saying, I wanted us to sort this out, not everybody else and all your mates. They put everything in the wrong place. Then he gets a fork and he's like brandishing the fork. And he's like, you can sleep in the spare room.
Yeah. Are you finding that this is different enough to the Jeff and Yasmin story to still be a valid
Yeah, I think so.
entity of its own?
I think so.
I think that Jeff did have that campy, entertaining side a bit more than Theo did.
It's funny,
when he was bopping around the garden to Mr. Boombastic, or feeding Yasmin a chicken, or doing his jiggle it magic routine.
He definitely had a real energy and charisma, whereas I think Theo feels like more of a real person. Like, Jeff felt like very much larger than life. Like, he was an entertainer, and he was entertaining to watch. Whereas Theo is just like anyone, you could know him, you know? Right, yeah. So...
I think Jeff was almost a bit of a baddie that you could love to hate. And sometimes when you kind of cheering the baddie on secretly, like, yeah, you... Like, obviously I was on Yasmin's side, but when he was doing things, like when he fed her the chicken, I was like, oh, Jeff, that's brilliant. I feel really bad, but I'm never there saying, yeah, you go, Theo, you poke him with that fork.
He's nasty in a really scary way.
Yeah.
But they both were. On Monday, Theo is like, oh yeah, everything's fine, cook your bacon, I'm sorry Todd, I didn't mean it. Todd's is like completely wrong-footed by this, because he was expecting more arguments and to be in the doghouse. But this is love bombing.
Mm.
So he's like, okay, well, I promise, to not invite people round. I'm really struggling with this because I don't like people coming around my house that I don't know or that I didn't invite, and unexpected. That would be my worst nightmare. And I wouldn't like fork you for it.
No, thanks.
No, and I wouldn't make you sleep on the sofa. I think the person who's mad is the one who sleeps on the sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the court, they have this is where they have the Theo.
Does he get his kids
custody hearing? And Dee Dee says, oh, good news, Todd. You can be in the court during the proceedings, but don't make a noise. And also, Theo, you might get some horrible questions that you got to stay calm and don't get angry. And Theo's like, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Team Thod. Which sounds like...
calls it that,
isn't that a villain from Superman?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Theo is being questioned.
Sounds like a character name for an ogre or a... Something like
something
that.
out of Shrek.
Or a caveman, like Thod the Great.
Yeah. So Theo's being questioned about his temper and his violent tendencies and is he hitting Miles? And Theo is like, you know, I don't like Noah. I didn't physically abuse him, but I did verbally say because I don't want him around my children. And Theo is sitting at the Todd and Noah are sitting at the back, and they are next to each other because of course. And then for some reason, nobody can hear what Noah says apart from Todd. Like Noah's just openly going, oh, that's rubbish. That's not true. He's evil. He shouldn't get any kids. They're gross. You're horrible. You're gay. I hate you. And it seems like only Todd can hear him. And Todd's like going, oh, shut up. I'm trying to watch this. You can't pause it.
Tell you what that is. Noah's snark. Anyway, carry on.
So he's just being sarcastic. And eventually, Todd just stands up and goes, oh, stop talking while the judge is talking. And the judge says, no talking. Send that man out immediately.
I can't believe that Todd was sent out just for that. I know maybe in a real court, possibly you would. Who knows? My only knowledge of courts is what I see in Coronation Street. But usually you can get a couple of callings out before you're thrown out of a court, can't you?
They pick up their gavel, which you're not supposed to have, and they go bang, 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 and go, order in the court. If I hear any more disruption, I will have you removed.
Yeah, but he's like, no warnings, doesn't he?
Get
He's
out.
just out.
Just get out. And as he goes out, Theo's looking at him, and Noah's smirking, and Todd goes out with his tail between his legs, goes back to the flat with Summer and goes, oh no, what will Theo do if the case doesn't go his way? And she's like, what do you mean by that? That's a bit weird. But then Theo arrives and he does a little fake out, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
He goes, oh no, I've got a shared custody order or whatever, shared care or what? And oh, what's that mean? It means I'm getting my kids! Hooray!
What do you think he would have done if he hadn't won the kids? Would he have taken it out on Todd?
Yeah, microwaved his hand.
I think that there would have been very, very serious consequences. But the fact that Todd even thought, you know, he worried about what's he going to do.
Yeah. He doesn't even realise. He doesn't even realise.
Yeah, why not? If he knows that if things aren't going to go his way, Theo's way, then it's bad news for Todd. That should be enough at this stage for him to get out.
Oh, no. Don't start that.
I'm not victim blaming again.
I didn't say you were victim blaming. I'm just saying it's a lot more complicated than that. If it was that easy, nobody would be in abusive relationships, would they?
No, I know.
I know it's really hard. And I don't understand it either. But when people tell you, you have to listen. Because if you want to solve the problem, you have to listen to what people tell you who have gone through this themselves. Because the thing is about it is that when Theo is nice to Todd, he's really, really nice, you know? So to Todd, it's like, oh, you know, as long as he's happy, as long as I keep him happy, as long as everything goes all right. And then he takes the responsibility of that, managing Theo's emotions onto himself, and then blames himself and kind of feels like he deserves it. It's a really manipulative situation. We know this.
It was interesting that Summer was almost there. It kind of making me think that she's going to be possibly a bit more aware.
But the thing about it, if they're gonna do this story properly, is that it feels to me to do this properly, you would have to have at least a few people tell Todd to his face, you're in a coercive relationship. This is abuse, and he will go, you know, no, I'm sorry, I can't be friends with you anymore if you're going to say that. Because that's what happens. If you recognise this is happening, you can't say anything to the person, but to alienate them, because you're just taking their support system away. And that's exactly what the abuser wants. Yeah. You have to let them know, I understand that you think this is okay, but I'm telling you, I don't think it is, and I'll be here when you need me. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Right, so...
Good news for Theo. Getting his kids.
Hooray!
Let's go to the bistro to celebrate.
Yeah, that's right. And then, so they're like, oh, he's like, sorry, you know, I'm fine now. I won't be horrible to you anymore. Let's go. I was really proud that you stood up for me. in the court because it all went fine. So let's go to the bistro, and then they're having their meal when in comes Noah like, oh, yeah, what are you celebrating for? Because Danielle's going to appeal and you won't get your kids. You're horrible perverts. And then Todd's like, ugh. And Theo comes between them and goes, Noah, you're not going to get to me anymore. Get bent. And Noah says, we'll see. And then he walks off and you never see him again.
No.
So then Dee Dee and Summer come and they join Todd and they all have a drink and they're all having, oh, isn't it great? Todd helped me. Oh,
yeah, they toast opening our eyes, don't they? Which is somewhat ironic.
So they're still there. They've been there the whole afternoon, and while they've just been wasting their time drinking, Noah's been off busily dying.
Oh yeah, killing
him. His heart killed him, which is quite a lot to do in a very short amount of time. But he pulled it off, bless him. And Danielle comes in. Danielle comes in and says, "Oh, what have you done to Noah? What have you done? He's died."
So, why did they have him die off screen? I was honestly expecting, because I went into this episode sadly knowing that he was dead, and I was desperate not to see Corrie spoilers this week because I knew that it'd be 4 or 5 days till I could watch the episodes. But I did see online like headlines, tweets, Noah's dead, what now? And I was like, oh damn it, that was a really good spoiler because nobody saw that coming.
If I had not known this was coming, I would have been so excited.
But if I don't know, maybe
it was
people who watched
when you knew.
But it was also more anticlimactic to not see him die. I think if they'd have done a bit of a Colin Fishwick or something here and just have him literally conk out in the bistro, that would have been more dramatic. Why couldn't they have just had that happen?
Because I am wondering, I've got my little theories, and I know my theories are always
No, go
rubbish.
for it. Oh, you haven't told
me
this.
My theory is, I think I told you this, because they're saying, the last time, we'll just get to this bit, the last time we saw Noah, he was fine. Danielle says, he was dead in the front room, he had a heart attack. And Dee Dee's like, look, I know you're really upset, but you can't just make someone have a heart attack. These things just happen. And then Todd gets upset because Theo is like giving her a cuddle and going, don't worry, Danielle, we'll always be a team. I'm here for you no matter what. And then Theo goes back home and he's like really upset and he's crying and saying, I trusted him, he was my friend, I miss him.
Yeah, what did you think of Theo's reaction?
I miss him, and he's got his
elastic band
and he's
doesn't
twanging
he?
it and going, no. There's no way that this happened because you never saw.
No way what happened?
Let me tell you, Theo leave anyone for any point of time, but I wonder if Theo knew that Noah had a heart condition, because the way he's talking about him is like he was they were really super close when they were younger, like super very very close. So if he did have some kind of heart condition, that it's possible that nobody knew about it except for Theo.
And has he, what, are you saying that he has been poking the bear in an attempt to...
Has he managed to do something to him?
No.
Well, the way he's reacting is like he's guilty, because he's crying and hurting himself, talking about him dying.
I think if Danielle comes in and said, you caused him this, you've made him go through all this stress, this is your fault. As horrible as Theo is, he is in a very fragile state at the moment, and if somebody's going to come along and said you're responsible for my boyfriend dying, and you kind of once liked him, you probably would think, it was me.
Yep.
But I don't think he did do anything.
I just think it's more exciting if he did.
I went into this episode only knowing Noah's dead, so my mind was sort of going haywire, thinking, what's going to happen? Is somebody going to attack him and Theo's there responsible? Or, I don't know, but just an off-screen heart attack felt less exciting than I was envisioning.
It feeds into my theory that you didn't see what happened.
But because I was also wondering, again, because I didn't know how he would die, was this going to be some kind of effect of the beating, which is what Maria suggests.
Brain bleed.
Yeah, Maria suggests this later on in the week, doesn't she? Because she's worried that Gary was the one who did it. But that's not even brought up by anyone else, and it seems pretty clear-cut that it wasn't related. It was just an unlucky heart attack.
Unlucky.
But what
What does this do?
What did it do to the story?
Yeah.
Now that he's dead, how
What's
is
the
this story
benefit of
better
this?
now that Noah is Noah more? I don't know.
I think it's going to make Danielle gravitate back to Theo, and then Todd's going to get jealous.
Well, yeah. I suppose we have seen a little bit of that this week, haven't
Because
we?
Theo's been like, oh, Danielle, oh, I love you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, can't believe it. It's weird.
It's a bold move. Not that Noah was in any way that significant a character, but to kill somebody off just so that could happen. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's
It feels
good
like
enough
there was
reason.
a lot more to Theo to
Noah
than we saw, because we all had this theory like they were in a gay relationship, Theo and Noah, and that's
some people were suggesting that Noah was closeted himself, but I guess we'll never know now
because he seemed super invested in people not being gay. Okay,
but yeah, it was a big twist, but I've not quite seen the payoff yet.
Will it come out that there was a relationship? I don't know.
So he's getting really upset is Theo about it. Todd's worried.
Todd's worried that Danielle and him are going to get back together or getting very close.
So what does Todd then do, which steers the storyline back to Theo manipulating him, which is where this is going.
Is that a rhetorical question?
No,
or are you leading me to an answer?
No, I don't know what the answer is.
What's the question?
If Todd's going to get jealous now, is that going to drive Theo away?
No, I think what will happen is Todd will act jealous about something or say something, and then that will make Theo mad at him, and they'll have a fight.
Yeah, again, it just seems like
I don't understand why Danielle is letting Theo comfort her, because she was like, she must have just been in shock. But if I would be like, this is your fault. If I was the evil Danielle, like, this is your fault. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it does seem surprising that she is
maybe she
leaning on his shoulder for a sympathetic ear, isn't it?
She killed him.
I don't know.
Heart attack's boring. You can't just die of a heart attack. Right, Todd, so he's there, Theo's there, and he's got his elastic band and he's flicking it, and then Todd comes and says, you've got to cut this band off. You've got to let you forgive yourself. And Theo's like, oh, maybe Noah could have changed. We'll never know. And eventually he snips the band off, and he's like, oh, Todd, I'd never be able to do this without you. And Todd says, I'll never leave you. And he says, you better not. See, this is another thing. Theo's going to manipulate Todd into thinking that he needs to stick around even if he's being abused, because that if he doesn't stay with him, who knows what Theo will do. If he's self-harming, he might even threaten to kill himself. That is a very common manipulative tactic that people use.
Yeah, that could happen, couldn't it? I can see Theo.
Come back to me.
Yeah, Todd finding Theo with some pills or something.
Yeah.
We commented when we were watching the episode that was that really the same elastic band that Theo's had all this time?
Well,
we just assumed that he changed it every now and then.
Ceremoniously, as though that was the main problem. But
the last elastic band in the world.
Yeah, I'm so glad they don't make these anymore.
Anyway,
the turtles.
What happens on Wednesday?
Next morning, Theo's on the phone to Danielle again, trying to, oh, sweetheart, how comfort you. And Todd's really not happy about this, or the fact that Theo says he's going to go around and see her later. And it kind of makes me feel like this is what Todd was doing with Billy. They're both so jealous of each other. So then Maria gets involved in this.
Oh, this is what in the pub earlier, wasn't it?
With Todd's there, and so Todd is asked by Maria, do you think that Noah dying might have been something to do with him being beaten up? And he's like, no. Why does Theo care? We should be happy. He deserves it. I hope he's not behind me, because that would be sad if I was slagging off his friend who just died. And Theo's like, oh, I can't believe you said that. And Todd's like, no, I'm not taking it back. He was horrible to us. And so Theo storms off.
This was some great acting from non-verbal acting from Samia, wasn't it?
She's like, this is so awkward, oh my god.
She's sitting there doing some really good, like, I'm just going to sit here and chew my lip while these two have a bit of an awkward confrontation.
There were so many awkward...
She was great here.
There were so many times this week where somebody was stuck in the middle of a couple having an argument, and they're like, oh my god, I wish I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, Rhea says to Todd, you could have been a bit more tactful, and you also could have not slept with Marcus that time, but maybe that's something for another day. On Friday, Theo is transformed into, the creepiest child's TV presenter you've ever seen. Which is funny because there are loads of really creepy ones.
But he's just desperate for his kids to have a lovely time.
The kids are coming round. So the kids are coming round. And Todd's trying to eat his breakfast. He's like, we've got to clear up. We've got to tidy up. If they see any dirt, they're going to get mad and tell their mum. So don't even eat. And he's like, what are you doing? So then we get Million Miles. Yeah. And I'm sort of surprised that Miles exists anymore because he never gets mentioned.
Well, Millie's been a bit more in the spotlight, hasn't she? Because of the whole fake pregnancy thing.
Yeah. I give kudos to these two actors because they are doing a really, really good job.
I think they're doing a really
great job.
People
aren't giving them enough credit for this. They are really good. I did say that they look like the Weasleys who joined Slytherin. Again, opening them up to abuse. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why people think...
They've been through a hell of a year, these two characters,
a joke about
haven't they?
A character... It turns into just slagging off the actors, which is really annoying.
It's not very nice. Yeah, they're not. They've completely turned against their dad, haven't they?
It's completely understandable that they've been brought up in a fundamentalist Christian family and taught that something is very evil and bad. Then their dad does that thing and what they think abandons their family and goes and moves in with a partner immediately. And then they're supposed to go around there and pretend that they want to eat a spring roll with him. I don't think I'd be very happy about it either. They're really miserable. I don't know why Theo spent all that time in court getting them to be able to come over because they hate it. They really hate it.
Yeah. But bless Todd, he's trying his best to try and chivvy them up as well, isn't he? By saying, Vietnamese takeaway, let's try this.
Place. So they do katsu curry, but it's not katsu curry. It's something completely different. And then he keeps... It wound me up because he kept trying to get credit for buying it for them. Yeah. He's like, I'm treating you. It's my treat. Of course it's your treat. I'm a child. I've come to this house. You're providing me with food. It's the most basic thing that you've got to do.
Yeah, there's
you don't
a couple
get
of
credit.
lines about that, wasn't there?
And then later on Theo's like, say thanks to Todd for buying you food. No, I won't. It's like what he's supposed to do. It's a legal requirement of you taking charge of a child. So anyway, they're not really happy.
Thanks for the oxygen in this room.
Yeah. Have you got somewhere for me to do a wee, or do I have to beg for that as well?
Thank you, gracious master, for providing me with toilet facilities.
Is there a bed, or do I have to stand up, like, praising you all night? So anyway, they're not really happy about any of this. And then eventually Millie tells Theo they're only seeing him because the court says they had to. Then she locks herself in the bathroom and she won't come out. And then Miles is like, I need a wee, actually. And Todd's like, wow, be grateful there's a toilet. Say thank you very much. So Theo says, all right, I'll let you, just come out, I'll take you home. So she's like, yay! They're so happy. They really are. I don't know how old they're supposed to be.
I can't remember.
But they
15, 16.
Being obnoxious is a talent of a teenager, and they're both very good at it because they hate it and they go. They're just really happy that they get to go home.
I hope
Danielle won't plan on anything.
I hope that they find peace. Like I don't care what happens to Theo at the end. He can get scraped across the cobbles with Carl, to be perfectly frank. Danielle, I had more sympathy with at the beginning because she was cheated on by her husband.
Shacked up with
but she's stirring the pot a little bit now, isn't she? But these kids honestly are the innocent party in all this, and I hope that
they're so confused.
Hope that they get some kind of closure.
They're not going to, because their dad's a horrible, abusive narcissist. And yeah, they're not well adjusted, are they? They've not been prepared for life very well by either of their parents. No. They've just been failed at every point, and they don't really like Vietnamese food.
They're the real victims.
They are. So Theo takes them. I'm just going to say it again. Really great performances from those two. Give them huge credit. And I will not take back they looks like the Weasleys have joined Slytherin, because that was a very good joke.
It's true. Well, you got quite a lot of likes on that on Twitter, haven't you?
I just wish I could make a joke without people using it as an excuse to be horrible on the internet. I'm not going to stop making jokes because people are horrible, but I can't do anything about it, can I?
No. Right,
so Theo comes back and Todd's like, Millie Millie was so ungrateful about those spring rolls I bought her. And Theo's like, no, you don't. My kid, you can't criticise my kids. You don't even know what you're talking about. You've never been a parent. And he's like, oh no, I have been. Look at Summer. I was like, all right, well, she nearly died like 5 times like the other year. Todd goes to leave for the pub, and Theo's like, oh, I'm sorry. Please stay with me. I feel like a failure. Don't go and spend time with your friend. Let's watch a film. And so Todd just like, fine, I'll stay with you.
Yes. And that's that story, isn't it?
That was a story that happened.
How was your enjoyment level on that? I think I'm preferring this story to the Abi and
Carl.
I
really like it, but I like I said, I think that I forgot the name of the actor who plays Theo. He's great as well. I just really hate him. I hate the character. I think it's great.
I am
how
just
well
finding
he's doing it
too difficult not to compare it to the Yasmin and Jeff story.
It doesn't cross my mind at all.
Yeah, it does for me still, and
but
that was
there's
so well done.
It's a different sort of abuse, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Because it was financial, and it was to do with like chores and everything that he was.
I wonder how long it'll be before, because it's still on the precipice. It's not like super dark at the moment, is it? Like when does Todd get chained to the radiator or given a black eye? It's going to happen, isn't it?
I think the difference is, I think that there's going to be more violence in this relationship, and also Jeff was never self-pitying like Theo is. Theo is so self-loathing.
No, I can't remember.
No, he wasn't. Okay. Jeff thought he was brilliant.
Okay, talking of more misery, we got the Asha story. Oh god! So the special episode with Asha was a month or so ago now, wasn't it?
She still not got over it.
And they had her on for like one episode, and then we barely seen her since then. But it was almost like this week it's been like, oh yeah, we started a story off and then didn't tell you what happened next.
This is
what happened next.
The week where Dev declares that now Artie's gone, he's only got one child.
Yeah, Artie's
which is, Artie's gone, but he also forget Amber and the other children.
Oh yeah. Also, we found out this week that Bernie and Dev are getting legally married next week, which I'm glad they put into the dialogue. Just to satiate us fans who are like, well, actually, if you just say it in a hospital, it doesn't really count, does it?
I wonder if they're going to delay it.
Do you think?
Well, because everything got wrapped up by the end of the week, but I'm not sure it's over.
I don't know. I think that they won't even mention it.
I love Bernie.
They're married now.
But I wouldn't marry her.
No. She's back from honeymoon on Monday, isn't she? Monday, was it?
She's a liability, that woman.
Her 3-week honeymoon.
To Wiltshire.
Yeah, I don't know why she wanted to go just because they'd paid for it, but 3 weeks. I think that's how long it was.
Yeah, she's been bumming around with the Avebury Stones.
It's not really on when you're newly married.
And all the rest of it. Buying... I tell you what, all around there are so many cool shops that Bernie would love. I hope she came to the New Forest and went to Burley, because that's where all the witches are.
Yeah, Bernie would love it in Burley.
She would love that.
So
and
anyway,
there's a nice fudge shop.
She's got some healing crystals for Asha. And Dev's like, what a load of mumbo jumbo. And he's Asha's gracious and says, oh, thanks very much for that. She needs them. So
they can't hurt you, can they? What's the worst that can happen?
Ryan's mission this week is to try and find someone who's going to help him out at a careers fair at the hotel. Because
Richard Throne University.
Yeah, there's Richard Throne University that doesn't appear to have its own seminar rooms or anywhere at all that it can hold a careers fair. It has to be
in a hotel.
Yeah, clearly.
With complimentary water.
Yeah. So anyway, he needs someone to help him out there. Can Bernie do it? No, she says. Glenda won't either, so he goes off searching, and we find more about that later. Bernie asked Dev how Asha's been, because she didn't see him herself completely earlier, and Dev says, oh, that's fine. She's been spending a bit of time in her room lately. That's all. Nothing to worry about. But Bernie's a canny bird, isn't she? And she can see that there's some kind of issues-based storyline that's just waiting to be unleashed upon us.
Asha is old enough to go and live by herself.
Maybe she's like, well, it's worked for Ardy.
I think it would be I wouldn't find it remarkable if my young adult daughter didn't want to spend every minute of every day hanging around with me and went to her room all the time.
No. But anyway, Bernie comes home later, and there's definitely something up with Asha. She's kind of blobbing around on the sofa, and she just can't find the motivation to do anything at the moment. She says, can't go into town, I'm skint.
What's wrong with me then? I've got the same problem, but I haven't got PTSD or anything.
You haven't been attacked by a racist woman in an ambulance.
No, it wasn't in an ambulance.
Bernie tells her, "Oh, yeah, Ryan might like to might like you to help him help out at his careers fair maybe on Friday. You could do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing any work. Yeah. I don't have a shift."
So she tells Ryan that Asha might want to help later. Keep an eye on her. There's something funny going on there. Wednesday comes round and Dev's trying to encourage Asha to do something together as a father-daughter activity today, but she'd rather just sit around on the sofa again, recharge her batteries, but eventually she relents and they agree to go for a cream tea at the hotel. I think that's what it was. They're little cakes
they have a load of cakes.
On a tiered platter. Look quite nice. They left the brownies, didn't they?
I'm not a massive fan of brownies
for
an afternoon tea.
Asha says she's going to stay behind a bit when Dev says, "Well, I need to go now. I've had enough father-daughter time, actually."
Sorry, I'm bored.
I'm bored of you. I've got to go
price up some beans.
So Asha's left alone in the bar when she goes up to the counter at the bar, and who is it there but... what was her name? Naomi, the lady from the ambulance, the kind of funny but also a bit nasty and racist drunk lady in the ambulance from a couple of weeks ago.
Now,
she's there, and it's her who's running the careers fair.
If you were eagle-eyed, you would have spotted her on the posters.
Yeah,
because I was like, I saw that. I was like,
the camera lingered, didn't it, on Monday's episode?
Well, where is she from?
I had no idea. I saw that the camera was focusing on it just for a bit too long, and I was watching it. I'm supposed to be getting something out of this, but I don't know what it is. I didn't even think, could it be the woman? I was like, is there something in the text there that's supposed to be significant for me?
Supposed to read it and go, careers? But that doesn't make any sense. Nobody on Coronation Street has a career.
Well, we were kind of joking about it when we were watching the episode, wasn't it? Like, what careers advice can you genuinely give to somebody on Coronation Street?
They're like, right, kids.
Tip number 1, look 5 metres away from your front door, because you'll probably just stumble across someone offering you a trial period.
Trial period. Don't be put off, because you always get the job at the end of it. It's completely fine.
And also, if you need a job... Don't worry, because somebody nearby is probably going to lose theirs just at that moment. Don't worry if you've not had any past experience of it. Just get in there. You'll be fine for a little bit.
And if you ever need a load of money, it will arrive.
Yeah, that's the...
Don't worry about being poor.
The path to the magic money tree. That's what this careers fair should have been called.
Just remember, you'll never be destitute or bankrupt, because there's only one family on the street who has an issues-based storyline with money problems, and that's Gemma and Chesney. And as long as they have that storyline, you'll be completely fine, because they won't double up.
No, they would never. Did you notice when we were at the Coronation Street set, we didn't even mention this, I forgot it until now, that the picture of Gemma and Chesney photoshopped underneath the viaduct is gone.
What's that now?
It's still a Frescoes poster, I think. But yeah, that's finally gone after all these years, 5 years later. Anyway, so we didn't recognise this lady, but props to you if you noticed her and said, "Oh, that's a lady from the other day."
I literally would struggle. I'm not good with faces. No. I know if I've seen somebody before, but that's of no use whatsoever.
Well, Asha's there saying, "You were the person that attacked me in the ambulance. You're the person that spat at me, threw a bottle at me. Didn't quite call me a racial slur because it was before the 9 p.m. watershed when you said it, but you were definitely thinking
meant it. Yeah.
You were definitely hinting at it, weren't you?" And the woman's like, "It wasn't me. But Asha's like, "No, I'm not having any of this. This is definitely you." Wouldn't it have been funny after all of this if it actually wasn't her?
And it turns out she's got a twin sister.
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Who's a massive racist.
But Bernie should know.
Oh,
she's got a doppelganger, hasn't she?
She does.
That would be hilarious.
Would it be? Would it undermine the story?
I think it would, but they should at least consider it. If they'd had a line with Bernie saying, "Well, are you absolutely sure that it wasn't just an actress who looked a little bit like that other one, because it happened."
This Naomi was absolutely adamant it wasn't her. And I am so gullible. I'm like, she's so convincing. I really believe her when she says it wasn't her, but I know it was her.
Are we supposed to think that she was so blind drunk that she's forgotten?
Well,
or
Asha
is she just trying to get Asha away? So I know it was you, and you better not...
Asha at first thinks she was so drunk she doesn't remember, but then she realises the woman is just lying. And she's like, "Oh, listen, lady, you better not go around making accusations, because that could get you in trouble."
Yeah. So the story at this point then devolves into, "I'm reporting you to the police for this. Well, I'm going to counter report you with this. I'll see you in court, not if I see you first."
Wow.
Again, I struggled to maintain interest in this.
Bernie was on a mission, wasn't she? Because
Yes,
when Asha gets home,
yeah,
she's
Bernie finds out
fuming.
about it, but she tries to calm Asha down because she's fuming when she gets home, like you said. And when Bernie finds out what's happened, she pops off and says, "Right, I'm going to do something about this." She's intent on telling Ryan what this woman is like and how dare you have this racist at your careers fair. But Asha chases her down Victoria Street to try and get her to stop, and she says, "Well, okay, but I'm going to tell Dev about this, and we should tell the police. What that lady did was racist and unlawful."
Yeah. This is the trouble, isn't it? Because Bernie's now in a family of people who this happens to, and she's never experienced this before in her life. And she is completely outraged, like anyone would be who's been confronted by this for the first time, of how horrible and terrible it is.
Yeah.
But Asha and this isn't their first time this has happened to either of them, I assume, Asha and Dev.
No.
So they're like, well, what can you do about it? So it was really interesting. Really interesting. I thought this story was.
Did you?
Yeah, because it's
I wanted to like it more
with all the layers of like who's right and who's wrong here. Bernie obviously overstepped the mark a bit.
Yeah,
what
I
she
thought
does
that
eventually.
she did. I thought that she definitely
And
did.
she's everyone's kind of exaggerated a bit about how they would react, but it is a really interesting story about somebody marrying into a family of who are a different race to them and experiencing racism for the first time, not really realising how prevalent it is and how often it happens, and wanting to do something about it. But the other, Asha's like, if you tell the police what will happen, they'll all go to me, oh, you should have done this and you should have done that, and that's completely true.
Yeah. So Asha herself goes to the police station, doesn't she? And she has this SFX laden camera, spinny moments, sound effects going all over the place. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But she's just about to turn to go out when Kit pops up out of nowhere and calls her over. It's like, is everything okay? Kit, now kind of technically related
I was like,
to her.
Why does he care? But then I remembered that, he's Bernie's son, and so therefore they're step siblings.
Something like that, yeah. So she's dobbed this woman in later, and Kit says, I'm going to make sure she gets justice, so watch out. But Kit's going to be planting evidence against her.
I know it's not the same, but this is kind of like what happened with Aaron and Amy, where it's like, who said this? She said, isn't it? And bloody Sienna buggered off right as this was happening to Asha, because the other friend was hawking up down by the whatchamacallit. Couldn't she back her up and say, yeah, she did? Why would Asha lie about it?
Yeah, I know.
But at the same time, I don't want to live in a world where somebody can say, oh yeah, she spat at me and she was racist, and the police go, okay, cool,
cuff them.
I'll just straight to jail.
Throw away the key, yeah. So anyway,
what can you do? It's the same kind of crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in some countries, this isn't even illegal to do. It would be the spitting that would get you in trouble in some countries. In some countries, you can just say whatever you want to people. You don't have that here. You can't just go around saying whatever you want.
No free speech here.
Not that I would know about that.
Asha gets home to a lovely fancy pea risotto from Dev, and he says, "Look, you've done the right thing. You're a public servant, not somebody's punch bag." But she's not particularly feeling hopeful about this woman being collared because there were no witnesses, and he's like, it's fine.
But it's all, the thing is, what I would say about somebody who's been sexually assaulted or something like that, you report it even if you don't know if it's going to go anywhere, because it helps create a pattern of evidence and paperwork that then might be used against somebody in the future to back up other women's stories. But it's all very well saying that if you've not been through it, because the process of having to go through the court system and the justice system and talking to people and talking about it over and over again and having people question you and ask you if it really happened is just about the time it takes and how exhausting and emotional it must be to have to do that. It's such a burden to ask of somebody. I can't totally understand why you would go, forget it, just leave it.
I get everything that you're saying, but I felt just a bit too much like I was being lectured at during this story this week. And does it? I don't know whether it feels like it's been too soon since the last racism story, or I'm thinking it was. I can't even remember what the last one was, but it feels like You know, it's a bit like how the Baileys, they always gave stories about racism too.
Well, this was not...
Like, the family's capable of more than this.
I'm trying to think, like, was there yeah, but they've not had this with the Allahans.
Well, I mean, Asha had her skin lightening.
Yeah, but that was... It's not the same
No,
thing.
not quite the same.
That was... It's a feature of racism. It's driven by racism, but it's not...
I would say that should probably be brought up in dialogue somewhere. And is Asha going to go back to thinking...
Like self-hating?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Everybody looks at me in a way that I can't control.
Yeah, she's going to be getting out the cream again.
Look down on me because of something I can't... It's horrible. And this is why Bernie gets so mad, because she can't do anything about it either.
Yeah.
What can you... You can't stop people being racist.
Bernie does take matters into her own hands on Friday, doesn't she?
Tell you what, unrivaled tech skills, this woman. She talk about hacking...
Oh yeah, she probably
immediately knows how to use PowerPoint and insert a brand new slide.
I have seen some
work.
people online suggesting that Bernie's leaked hacking skills were a little bit far-fetched, but I don't know. It was.
I
don't think it's that difficult.
Wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know that Bernie would be able to do it, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for anyone to have done it. Maybe she got Raphael to help her.
Well, she goes a lot. There's a few scenes in the earlier in the episode, Asha and Dev having their top scran at the cafe, as Ardy would apparently say. I don't know.
Asha doesn't think he would
not
say
sure
that
whether
either.
he would. But anyway, so Bernie decides, like you said, to take things into her own hands and pops over to the hotel in time for this careers fair, and she's like loitering around the laptop there, and you're like, okay, what's she doing then? And it was kind of funny how Summer and Amy and Nina were there. I can't remember whether they gave a reason for Nina being there.
Nina's still trying to get that old fashion career off the ground.
But anyway, I suppose it's just helpful that friends happen to be there.
The cheek of Nina going to a careers fair. It's like, you had a job designing pants for a knicker factory. What happened to that?
Well, she's living her best life serving fry-ups and Roys, isn't she? Or does she dream of something more than that?
Well, they all do. What's Amy? What does Summer?
The Coronation Street has got a couple of years to decide what career path they want Amy and Summer.
Well, they're never going to be able to do it
They're kind
now.
of spinning their wheels by saying, they went to university. And it's great that Coronation Street characters are going to university because it happens so rarely. But at some point, they're going to just have to settle on the fact that, they're probably just getting a job in the street like everybody else does.
Do you think that Amy, Nina and Summer are now doomed to spend the rest of their lives in dead-end jobs on Coronation Street because the careers fair never got kicked off?
Yeah, maybe it is. This would have been the key to escaping the perpetual cycle of knicker factories and flower shops and cafe working.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm obviously not destined to have a career. One of the posters just said politics. What do you mean?
Well, there was one that said cyber.
Bernie could have done that one.
She could. So, Bernie hacks it. She doesn't hack it. It's like,
it is elite.
I'm thinking that I could probably do that.
It's elite hacking, Michael. It's elite.
How old's Bernie?
I'm not going to say. 25.
It's not very difficult to add a new slide into somebody's PowerPoint.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to do it so no one saw me doing it. I'm sure I could work it out if you gave me 10 minutes.
If you knew what to do, it would take you 2 minutes to do what Bernie's done.
I've never used PowerPoint in my life.
Yes, you have.
When?
At school, that's all we did in our IT lessons.
I did
PowerPoint, Word and Excel.
Excuse
me. A bit of access.
IT, I did a half GCSE in IT, and I don't know how I got it, because literally one of the lessons was us hacking into calculators to send each other rude messages. I don't know what I did, apart from that one thing. I remember another lesson we had where the teacher took the lid off the marker and made us all smell it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That was the level of education I got.
So all you need to do is find the remote that's controlling the projector, press the freeze button, new slide, type in "I'm a massive racist." What the thing that's impressed me the most is that she got her apostrophe right. Brilliant. And it was nice centered message in there.
She made it nice and bold.
What
font size? What font was that? Excellent choice of font.
It got the message across, and that message was, "I'm a massive racist."
I think it would have been funnier if she'd done one of those effects where it kind of like slides onto the screen and then it like jumbles up and flies away.
Yeah, no time to add any animations if you're trying to do it sneakily alien under the radar.
Imagine if Clippy had come up and go, I can see you're trying to call someone a massive racist. Would you like some help?
I see you're trying to sabotage a presentation. There's a reference that not many people are going to get these days.
Only elite hackers will know what we meant.
What Clippy is. So anyway, Naomi's there going, who did this? And Bernie says, yeah, it was me. You are a massive racist, and you've made my newly acquired stepdaughter's life misery, so meh.
I'm going to critique one thing in this storyline, which was Naomi clicking to a slide that says, I'm a massive racist, and then leaving it up there.
Yeah.
And then going, who did this? She doesn't even say I'm not a massive racist.
No.
She just leaves it up there and goes, oh, well, the whole thing's ruined now.
I suppose it kind of adds on to her confrontational personality. That was what we saw in the ambulance, wasn't it? Rather than just brushing it off and going, Raphael, was that you? She's got
no like deflection skills or banter or anything. If you were doing a real presentation and all these kids have come here and Richard Throne University's paid you to do this thing, and there's a whole day of events and speakers, and a thing comes up goes, I'm a massive racist. You go, that's weird. Anyway, next slide, engineering. Has anyone thought of doing that? You don't go, oh my God, I can't believe I've been outed as a massive racist.
Must have accidentally copied over a slide from my far right group.
This here is as an example. In a career, if you were doing a presentation and this came up, you just have to move on from it, wouldn't you, kids? Right, next slide.
Do you think that that's like the initiation PowerPoint that Griff gives to all his newly acquired cronies?
Yeah, if it comes up and you go, yeah, excellent, then he knows that you're...
It's just a test. Yeah, it's just a little, what is it, subliminal messaging. If nobody in the audience objects, then you're on to the right thing.
I'm a massive racist. Eh? Anyone else? Put your hands up. You at the back.
Okay,
come on. You at the back. You're smiling. You're smiling. Come on. You come up here with me.
We do get to see her being a bit of a git with one of the other attendees, don't we? She's the black guy that's there, and he's trying to help her stack chairs later.
She's
and
like,
she's getting frustrated.
You can't
with
do
him,
it.
And I thought he was overacting a little bit of his like, oh, how dare you?
No, I thought that's what I'd do.
Anyway.
Name's like, who done this?
Ryan comes
and Bernie
along.
says, it was me. Oh, it was me.
Yeah.
And everyone films it, and Ryan goes, it's cancelled.
Yeah. I've got my money from you.
I didn't know she was a massive racist.
Let's start serving drinks again. Anyway,
it's irrelevant, surely, to the careers fair.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, Asha confronts Bernie later, and she's absolutely mortified by this. She says, you don't get it, do you? I asked you to stay out of it, and you've gone and made a big thing of it. Thanks very much.
I thought this scene was great, because Asha's there on the sofa, watching the video she's been sent of this massive racist sign going up, and she's aghast and shocked and, like, violated. And then Bernie comes in like, la, 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 I've done the brilliant thing. I've defeated racism in all its forms.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happened. That's what Asha's problem was. It felt like Bernie thought she'd solved everything.
It was a very Bernie thing to do. She does like to get stuck into things.
This is quite a good story because it really fits in with everyone's characters.
Yeah, but Asha just wanting to...
Well, Asha's like, what can you do about it?
And knowing that there's not necessarily a solution to this.
No.
And Bernie desperately wanting to help. Yeah, that very much.
And going, I'm going to do the most outlandish and weird thing I can think of.
Yeah.
So Bernie has to tell Dev about this later.
Yes, and Dev says, look, Bernie, I love you for standing up for my daughter. She's going to forgive you. Don't worry about it. But then just as everything seems to be wrapping up nicely for the episode, there's a ring at the door. Ding dong. It's me, Naomi.
The massive racist.
The massive racist here. Comes in and says, you can't go around making false allegations about me, thank you very much. I'm not a racist. How did she know where Asha lived? I can't remember.
She said she just looked her up.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
You're not difficult to find. Because she gave her name. She went, my name is Bernie Winter.
Oh, yeah.
Like the season.
Not like the comedian. the usual reference I would have thought. But anyway, she says, look, I'm not racist. I don't go around attacking paramedics. How dare you? I'm suing you for defamation.
Bye.
So Asha comes downstairs after Naomi's left and is really worried to hear what's happened. And Dev says, well, look, you should worry. Me and you, Bernie, are getting married next week.
Yeah, because
it's not very well you saying that you don't get any money that she can take, but what's yours is mine and mine is yours next week. So she could be taking this massive chunk of the Alahan Empire out. We're in trouble.
I thought that was a really weird thing to say.
Why?
I guess it's because she's older. but like, she's living in his house. Like, she's not poor. Why does she think she's poor?
Well, she is pretty poor, isn't she?
No, because she lives in a nice house with her rich husband.
Well, I don't know.
He plays golf, for goodness sake. He doesn't need a photo of a red sports car next to the Eiffel Tower. He's done all that already.
He's driven at breakneck speed through the country lanes in a redneck sports car.
Yeah.
Redneck sports car.
Come on, Cletus, let's get in the car.
Red. What did I just say?
A red sports car.
Red sports car. Anyway, no.
He sent his kid to private school.
Yes.
He's not short of a penny or two. And what does she think was going to happen when they got married?
Asha goes to Naomi in the hotel and says, please don't sue us. And Naomi says, well, you withdraw your allegations against me then, and then we're square. So Asha goes back to the pub, and sorry, I found this boring. Then Asha goes to Naomi in the hotel again and says, I'll drop the complaint. There's just so many, it's just bringing up climaxes and cliffhangers and like, oh, we'll go to court for this.
I don't think this is over.
You drop the charges. Well, Asha says, Naomi, I've dropped my complaints. Now leaves Bernie alone. And Naomi's like, oh, maybe not. I'll have to have a think.
I wouldn't do it.
And she does. The case has been dropped by the end of the episode. Bernie's chuffed about it, and they'll breathe a sigh of relief, and thanks for that. So Bernie's saying to Asha, well, all well that ends well, innit, love? But when Asha goes outside, she has another special effect moment, and she's having a bit of a panic attack against the door. She can't breathe. She's still spiralling downwards.
Because as she leaves, she can hear Dev inside going, oh, Asha is the bestest person who ever lived in the entire universe. She's the bestest paramedic in the whole world, and she can never do anything wrong, and I think she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, which incidentally I sell in my shop. And she's like, oh no, but I'm none of those things.
I'm glad you enjoyed this story. I found it a little bit wearing, if I'm going to be honest.
Also, Asha called Bernie a white saviour. But then also, Bernie called Naomi a rancid gammon.
I've never...
Terrible.
Is that a thing?
Oh, gammon is a thing, yeah.
Well,
maybe people don't know. Maybe this is a very British thing to call somebody. Gammon is a name you call white people who are racist or horrible
I've literally
or
never heard that before.
Right wingers or something, because you're making fun of how they get red when they're angry.
Okay, right, back from the dead, Gemma.
I don't.
Your favourite story.
I'm not going to have people
super soapy silliness
slagging off gammon.
What's going on? What's going on with old Becky Swain and Lisa and Carla? This is what people really want to know.
Gammon's really nice.
Go on.
On Friday, Becky's like, oh, knock knock.
Bonjour, c'est moi, c'est Becky.
No, hola.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember anything in Spanish apart from Donde está la biblioteca.
Becky's got nothing more to do this week than loiter around number 6.
Things.
I'm leaning on the mouse. Sorry.
So
I still feel sorry for Becky. I'm still going to kick right off with that right now.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Becky here, and I think that yes, she should try and she wants to get her daughter's good books.
Where have you put the remote?
It's here.
What are you doing?
It's literally here. I was just leaning against it.
I thought I made us rewind twice so you could listen to her funny joke.
What was the funny joke?
Becky's funny joke. Right, so Becky's there. Lisa's like, you can't keep barging in, and Becky says, I want to see Betsy, and Betsy's like, oh, I don't know, I'm feeling a lot of things right now. I don't know if I want to see you. And Becky says, I've got so much to tell you. I can't stay away. I want to protect you. Oh, God, I forgot all this happened and we hadn't talked about it yet.
Oh, no.
Roy comes round with a dog and he's like, well, what? You are Becky Swain. I knew that you were. You lied. And Carla's like, sorry, it's a covert operation and witness protection. Please don't tell anybody. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not a liar. And he goes off in a huff. Like it's all been orchestrated just to put him out. So Lisa goes then by herself, buys 2 slices of carrot cake after having had an entire carrot cake for Betsy's birthday, like 3 episodes before.
A bit of carrot cake.
How much carrot cake can one family eat? What happened to that 3-tiered monstrosity of a cake? Did they finish that already? And wasteful. Roy puts it in 2 separate takeaway boxes. I'm sorry, if you're ordering 2 slices of the same cake, you're getting it in the same box, fine with charge. So she's trying to get Roy to forgive Carla about what's happened, and he is not having it. Evelyn then overhears the conversation, says, who are you talking about? And then the lie gets told that it's Lisa's sister. Becky is Lisa's sister.
Yeah, Roy says it, doesn't he?
And Carla, when she goes back, Carla finds out that Lisa's made Roy lie, and she gets really mad about it, going, this is the word, he hates it, it's like his thing. You know how we all have a quirk of a character? Like, I'm a kind of slightly alcoholic kidney donor recipient, and that's my quirk, and your quirk is that you're like super stern all the time, and Betsy's is that she's got terrible taste in clothes. Roy's is that he doesn't like lying, and you just made him lie. And they're arguing, and Becky's like going, oh gosh.
I've been careful. Last time Roy told a lie, he disappeared off to South America for 6 weeks, didn't he?
Becky's been in Spain for 4 years, so she's not impressed by that. Right, so Becky's then... Lisa finally says to Becky, like, what is going on with you? Are you alive or dead? Are you officially alive or dead? And this is the elephant in the room.
We don't get an answer.
We don't get a straight answer at all. She's like, what, are you alive or dead? Because I'm going to marry Carla. It doesn't matter what you say. And Becky's like, I don't know. Well, who bloody does then, you lunatic? Get out. Go sort it out.
Yeah.
Go down the job office or something.
I am kind of feeling like what you were saying last week on the podcast, that a few more questions should be being asked at this point. And we don't see hide nor hair of Bostello this week, does he? He's sitting there in his office thinking, I think I've got away with this.
No one's asking me anything. I'm just going to carry on.
And Logan in his prison cell, blissfully unaware that all of this is kicking off.
He's been beaten to a pulp.
Well,
he got beaten up for nothing.
Yeah, so...
I'd be furious if I was him. I got beaten up because of this woman who's just swanning around. She's not even putting her head up anymore.
This week's story is all about her trying to get her feet under the table with Betsy, isn't she?
Not only is she swanning around, not in incognito, she's gone to Freshco's and she's ordered a bloody washing machine. She did
have her hood up for a bit.
She's ordering washing machines and having Lisa deliver it for her. What the hell is going on? We still don't know whether they're legally married, her and Lisa. She's like, I don't know. Well, sorry, but someone needs to find this out.
Yeah, is it suspicious? Does Becky actually know? I don't know. It's just like, it's not important for the story. Yeah. Carla says, sing your hook, please, which was great to see Carla finally. Carla was one of the original ones who was trying to say, look, you two need to talk, but she's definitely getting a bit more
fed up with her now.
A bit fed up and a little bit insecure about Becky's continued presence.
What I want Carla to do is grab Becky by the hair and just throw her out of the house. Right, Monday, Becky's round again for a visit. To be fair to her, there's no other place she can visit.
What do you mean?
Well, she wants to be in the show. She doesn't know the only place she can go.
Well, she can go to the Rovers.
Well, she's moving out of the hotel.
For bread from Dev.
And she's like, I'm going to move to a rented place, Betsy. Lisa, help me. And Carla's like, what the hell is going on here? And eventually, Lisa is convinced to help Becky move house. So then the Freshco car park together, and Becky gives her a white chocolate mouse with the world's longest ribbon. Where'd she get this from? And Lisa's like, no, don't want it. No. She's like, but you love chocolate mice. No, don't want it. Let's just go. And then Lisa turns the engine on of the car, and it was so funny. What? It's when Becky goes, maybe...
Oh, yeah, this is the great joke.
She turns it on, and it doesn't work, and Becky goes, maybe it just died. Like what I did. And Lisa's like, this is not funny. And then Becky goes, try it again. Maybe it'll come back to life. Like what I did.
That was funny.
And then she gives her this look like, I'm sorry. But it's also like, at the same time, I love that. But I'm also sitting here going, this is absolutely bonkers. This storyline is bonkers. You can't make a joke about it, Coronation Street. You made this happen.
Yes, you can. I thought it was funny.
Right, so...
I liked... does anyone else see that scene where she's turning the little knob in the car and go, what on earth? Like, are we the only people left that stick a key in a hole to turn this, to get their car working? Have we moved past that?
One of our friends has never had a car that has a key.
I know.
We've only ever had, 2 cars in our whole...
But I've never seen this little twisty dial to turn you...
Some people just press a button, don't they?
I've seen on the adverts that you can start cars sometimes by pressing the start-stop button. But I didn't know that twisting a dial was a thing.
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
When you
I wouldn't be able to hack into that. I could add a slide to a PowerPoint, but I wouldn't know how to hotwire Lisa's car.
When you turn a key, you're doing something and the car starts, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. If you twiddling a knob. What does that do? What are you doing, DJing? Calm down, Ryan. This is a car.
Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't have expensive cars, do we?
No.
I've even sit in one.
Well, we have expensive cars when they start working. We have to just fix it in the garage.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a cheap car that costs a lot of money.
Yes. There's a difference.
It's a big difference. Right, so Ryan and Carla find out that the car's run out of petrol.
Oh yeah, that was the reason for it, wasn't it?
What an idiot. And then Carla's like, they do make a joke about the fact that Lisa's a detective and she couldn't remember to put petrol in her car.
Yeah.
People kept saying petrol quite a lot, and it reminded me of the Cheeseoid sketch from Mitchell and Webb. And then I kept saying petrol. And Michael doesn't know what I'm talking about. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I've watched Mitchell and Webb, but I've got no.
Look up Cheeseoid. It's funny. Anyway, so Ryan's like, "Are you all right with them just sitting together in a car?" And she's like, "Well, I don't have any choice. Do I?"
Do you think that there's any chance whatsoever? Because this is what people are worried about. Some people are worried about, and maybe starting internet petitions about at the moment, that Becky and Lisa are going to be jumping each other's bones anytime soon.
Prediction. Becky will lean to kiss Lisa, and then that will be when Carla walks in and sees them. Or Betsy.
Oh yes, that's the perfect soap climax cliffhanger moment there, isn't it?
Something will happen. Anyway, so Ryan's like...
Lisa is not going to... She's not going to fall back for Becky.
Lisa has to not even think about it, otherwise I'm going to get annoyed.
I'm not worried about it. I think Becky clearly is, and I think she would. I still think that if I was Becky and I was packed away to Spain for 4 years, I wouldn't stop loving you, and I wouldn't just go back there and say, "Oh, you've moved on, have you? Fair dues."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "No, come on,
That's
Gemma.
why it's something suspicious
Let's start the podcast again. Maybe have a little kiss."
No, I've started a podcast with someone else. I'm doing a slow horses podcast with somebody.
I don't really blame him, Becky, for wanting to pick up where she left off, especially with her daughter as well.
I do find it utterly bizarre that she's come back and gone, "Look, I'm not going to force you or anything. I just want to see my kid." I'd be like, "Excuse me, we're married. Who the hell is this bird? What's this house? What's that bloody great big oven that you can't cook? Why have you got a giant kitchen with all marble everywhere?" I said I didn't want marble in my house.
Yeah. Error of judgment to maybe not communicate with Lisa during the 4 years, but she was scared for her life. You know, this Curtis is a dodgy bloke.
It just sounds so... It just doesn't ring true to me, and I'm not sure if it's because the story isn't convincing or because it's not supposed to be. I'm still holding out hope that a lot of the cracks here are going to be filled by actual story. Yeah. That makes logical sense, but I'm not 100% on it. I'm still giving him an out though. So Ryan's telling Carla, like, you got to be careful with this. And Carla's like, "No, it'll be fine." And then she says, "If she leaves me, she leaves me. Fair dues. But the most important thing is I trust her." And then Ryan says, "But do you trust Becky?" And Carla says, "No, I flaming don't." And they quickly
scurry off to the car park.
To give them petrol. Meanwhile, Lisa is telling Becky that Carla's a great person, and Becky's like, "Oh, good for you, brilliant," and something like that. Then she starts trying to reminisce about good times with Lisa and talking about Wigfield, which apparently she loves Wigfield. I didn't know she did more than one song.
Yeah, apparently so.
Saturday Night. If you don't know Wigfield because you're too young or you're not from the UK, Saturday Night, that was the
94
song.
Banger.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, who knows
the
that
moves.
She did more than one tune.
Yeah. So Becky says, "Look, you should say thank you to me, because I've saved your life. I had to give up my whole life for you. I went through hell, and you're not even grateful." And Lisa's like, "What the hell are you talking about? I had to grieve for you. I was upset." And she's like, "No, well, it was worse. I had to live in Spain.
I had to sun myself on a beach for 4 years long,
I had to
drinking
live in Alicante.
cocktails. It was hell.
I'm sick of sangria. I just want a pint." And Lisa's like, "Okay, right. Maybe I didn't see it from your point of view. I kind of get that you had a tough time too." And Becky says, "When I found out you were engaged, I came back because I was jealous, and I never stopped loving you, and I never will." Then this is when Carla pulls up with Betsy in the car, and they mention Wigfield again. All of this is just kind of like Becky's putting it in to remind Lisa of their shared history and to kind of wrongfoot Carla, like, "I didn't know she liked Wigfield." if you were alive in the 90s, you liked Saturday Night by Wakefield. Let's not pretend that we all didn't like it.
I want to see doing the dance.
Saturday Night.
It doesn't work on the podcast,
like the way you... I can't even remember how you do it. So, Carla makes sure that Becky sees Lisa getting a big kiss and she's like draping herself
over it, isn't she?
Then they go to the pub. I guess the petrol situation got sorted out. Why does this fancy car that has a knob to start not have a petrol warning sign?
No, it does. Carla said that the petrol warning sign had been going on for ages.
But how is it going on for ages?
Lisa's used to driving cars with flashing lights, isn't she? She's a police officer, so maybe she didn't clock this like, one. Red, blue, all the same.
No, she's like, the blue light's gone out. I'm going to have to get that fixed. Right, so they're at the pub, and Roy's there, but he's mad at them still. And Lisa can see that Carla is a bit distracted, and she admits she's jealous of Becky, and that she's like, I'm not a marriage wrecker, you know, I thought that this was all whatever. And Lisa's like, don't worry about it, you're fine. But then she gets a text from Becky going, oh, I've got your chocolate mouse in the fridge that you helped me buy.
Becky's still trying to tempt her ex back to her fridge for a bit of chocolate mouse action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you tempt me back with?
Curly whirly. No, bottle of cider.
A curly whirly and a packet of fruit pastels.
Yes.
Or
you'd be anybody's, wouldn't you?
A cup of tea and a curly whirly. You can't mix chocolate and fruit. That's weird.
Oh, I feel bad for Becky. Carry on. Wednesday.
I'll get you a boost.
Thank you.
And a cup of tea.
Like a boost, yeah.
On Wednesday.
Not a chocolate mouse. I don't like the.
I love it. I love white chocolate mice with that weird texture. That's not really chocolate, is it?
No.
It's legally not chocolate. No. I don't think. It's the same as that dodgy advent calendar chocolate. It just reminds you of Christmas.
Wednesday.
Betsy tells Lisa, I'm not going to college today, I'm going to hang out with my mum because she's not dead anymore. And Lisa's not happy about this, but she says, you know, okay, fine. But and Carla's still trying to get into Betsy's good books by making her cheesy scrambled eggs. This woman is cooking for Betsy. I don't think Betsy realises how privileged she is. So then we get Becky and Betsy hanging out in the precinct together, and she's bought us some ice cream because, as we all know, even though Betsy is 18 legally, in her mind she's still 16, if not younger.
So she shouldn't be grateful that she's been bought this food.
No, she should be very grateful. Becky says, I've heard what you've been getting up to, stealing vans and things. You've got to stop this bad behaviour. I thought this was kind of weak. I didn't like this.
Betsy going off on one.
Yeah.
Just for this, it felt like it was a tiny little spark, and it caused a massive inferno that's made Betsy go and storm off. I'll be like, oh, come on, Mum. But she's like, no, how dare you?
Well, I mean, she's not wrong, is she?
Because Betsy
That's the thing about it.
It feels like Betsy was desperate to reconnect with her mum.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a little comment like that
did feel weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's not even in the right here, is she? Because she shouldn't have stole the car.
She actually got away with it.
Yeah. So she's like, you don't get to tell me what to do. You don't know me at all. You lost the right to parent me years ago. And she huffs off. So Becky goes back to number 6 looking for Betsy. And Carla's there, and she's like, just bugger off, go back to where you came from, go back to being dead. And Becky's like, I'm not going to go back to being dead, because maybe that's going to come at the end of the story. So Becky pops up again later, to when Lisa's home, and she says, I just want to be Betsy's mum again, and I thought that, she was my baby, but I felt like she was a stranger. And she's like, I'm fed up with you, shut up about it, being a pity party, go away. And then... some reason she calls her back and goes, come and have dinner.
Because it was after the whole Freshco fiasco. She's starting to see things from Becky's point of view, and she's not just a raging bitch come hell bent on wrecking her engagement. She's actually a person in there who she used to have quite a bit of affection for.
Can I say, you do a great job with the notes, but I am struggling because you've written Becky when you mean Betsy and Carla all the way through this section.
Yeah, I know, I'm putting you...
But it's a really good test of my memory of this. I did see it twice, so I've got no excuse. So, yeah, Carla comes home and she's there looking. Betsy, Becky and Lisa all making horrible pasta from a jar with each other, going, oh, is that okay? Is it all right? Yeah, you can come and have... tea with everybody. I couldn't say no. And Carla's supposed to be fine with it. Also, there was a bit where Becky gives Betsy 4 years worth of birthday cards, which I think was what made Betsy want her to stay for horrible pasta.
Yeah. She says, I've been writing these every year, writing down the things that I wish that I could say to you. Sweet.
I bet you just wrote those yesterday.
No, she didn't. See, in fact, people are thinking that, aren't they? But I think these are genuine. I genuinely think she's... Well...
I've also...
Call me naive all you want.
Becky and Betsy made Lisa open a jar, and I want to share this amazing tip that I found out the other day.
Oh, yeah.
We had a jar of cornichons in the fridge that I couldn't open for about 3 months. And I just Googled yesterday to find out how to open it. And the best tip, right? You get the jar and you put your what is this? The heel of your hands either side of it.
Right.
And then you push really hard.
Push in.
You push into the sides of the lids, and then the lid will pop and it'll just open. You have to push really hard.
I need to try it.
But it's easier than opening it with, twisting it. Why did we invent a jar system that 50% of the population can't do? I'm not talking about men versus women. I'm talking about people with not strong hands versus people with strong hands.
I bet Theo doesn't have any issues opening
Theo
jars.
just throws it on the ground and then picks out the glass.
Right, Tyrone's story, to me, basically boils down to Tyrone's laid out in hospital, Fizz is finding it difficult to cope at home. No, that's literally it, isn't it? Yeah, they managed to string this out over the course of, 4 episodes?
Are you going to say any more than that?
Well, yeah, I'll go through it,
Okay.
but Fizz is supposed to be going back to work on Friday.
I literally think you've just said the whole plot.
It really is.
His one of his legs feels funny and the other one doesn't.
No, let's get to it.
Right.
Cassie's offering to help the kids get ready for school because Hope hasn't eaten a breakfast. But Fizz is like, no, yes, I'll do it. Evelyn's trying to cheer her up later, and Fizz admits to Evelyn she really doesn't know how to cope with this. So Evelyn goes and has a visit with Tyrone later, and Tyrone's main thing at the moment is, who was it that hit me?
Yeah, well, you would.
I don't know whether in real life.
Yes, you would.
I'd be more likely to think it's nobody I know.
No, I wouldn't be like, who's the
It's got
mysterious
to be a main
driver?
character.
I'd be like, I hope they catch the scumbag that did it to me. That would be what I would be thinking. They can't. I don't want them to get away with doing this to me. That would make me mad. It wouldn't be like, who could they be? What's their identity and their name? Doesn't matter what their name is. They're going to court. I'm going to make sure they go to prison.
I thought I'd just be like, oh well, I'm here now.
I'm going to limp my way to their front room window and stare at them at night.
He needs to focus just more on getting better, not getting his vengeance.
No, vengeance. That's what I want. That's all I want out of life. I want some catastrophic thing to happen so I can get vengeance for it. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Fizz,
touching words.
Fizz is visiting Tyrone later. Every scene starts with so-and-so is visiting Tyrone. And she's saying, look, I'm going to look after you. He's feeling mega guilty about it all. But when she puts her hand on his leg, he can feel it. Get the doctor. It looks like I maybe won't be paralysed forever. Who'd have thought it?
The doctor's like, yeah, that's
right.
So
the doctor comes in and kind of prods him with a needle a little bit. And he can... Is it one leg's working and the other leg isn't?
Kind of.
So he can hop off home.
Ask Jack, you don't need to.
Soon. Yeah, exactly. He should be fine. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, isn't it, that Jack, the child who he originally thought was his, are now sharing
they'd be in a club of one-legged people.
Yeah. Together they're a two-legged person.
They can do a three-legged race though.
Oh my gosh,
it's just
dragging. Tyrone's guilty.
Much,
Fizz is fed up. Evelyn and Cassie are with Tyrone later. They're glad that he's getting better, and he's like, oh, I'll probably be home in a week or so, but I've got to show that I can get better and maybe cope in a wheelchair, so I'm going to be a wheelchair character for a little bit. And then they're bickering about him, and Tyrone's listening, and he's feeling guilty, blah, blah, blah. Monday, who visits Tyrone? It's Fizz this time, saying, oh, Evelyn, she's been such a godsend at home. It's been really brilliant having her here, isn't it? It's going to be so tough when she goes back to university again. Tyrone is feeling guilty about this. Newsflash. Fizz gets home from frescoes later, and Evelyn says, well, I'm not going to do university anymore. Maureen Lipman has decided that she wants to stay in the show, so therefore I'm quitting my course.
No, that's not what happens though, is it?
No, she doesn't, but it wouldn't surprise me if she turns around and that's what happens. She
She's
says,
like,
a
"I've
bit too long in the
decided
tooth for university.
It's a bit
given up on my
stupid
dream.
to do a law degree and get myself in £10,000 worth of debt every year for no reason.
Yeah.
I could just watch videos on YouTube and argue with people. That's exactly the same thing.
Well, Fizz is grateful at first, but later in the pub tells her, no, look, you probably should go back to university. And Eva's like, no, Tyrone needs me. And Fizz insists, you've got to go. You don't want Tyrone feeling even more guilty than he already does. So you go back to university, Evelyn. Thank you very much.
We forgot to mention that it was Roy's birthday at some point.
Yes.
During all of this.
It was, wasn't he? He gets a... And we've got to mention, I quite enjoyed the little conversation that he had, I think it was last Friday, about the Warner Brothers characters, and he's apparently never heard of Foghorn Leghorn. Which,
yes, and they mentioned Fred Elliott.
Yeah, Fred Elliott got a name drop, didn't he? That was
nice.
Evelyn says she is going back to university.
I'm worried. I'm worried about it. Are you worried about it?
What?
About whether she's going back to university or not?
I hope
she's going to miss Freshers Week.
Anyway, Roy takes her off to university.
That's when all the hooking up happens.
Well, I think she's had Freshers Week, hasn't she? That's why she was
joining again
in the hospital the other week. She
joining
had
again. Oh yeah, that's
Frida
true.
Watson.
How early did they start?
Southampton, I think, is quite late.
Doesn't start till October.
Yeah. Fizz is struggling. Her carrier bag breaks. Maria comes and helps her, but she says she's going to be fine. Maria points out to Cassie, Fizz is really struggling.
Well,
so Cassie offers to help Fizz out in the kitchen.
What an oblivious cow Cassie is. Like.
Well, no, but Cassie had offered to help back on Friday.
But
by the time Wednesday comes around, she's forgotten.
I think the story is don't be a martyr and also don't be oblivious.
Friday, Kevin visits Tyrone. Tyrone still wants to find out who ran him down in the car. Little does he know that it's the brother of the chap who's visiting him at the moment. And he's pretty miffed by the end of it because he has to stay in hospital over the weekend because he kind of hoped that he was going home.
Well, he's not.
That's it. That is the sort. It really is just Tyrone's guilty. Fizz is run off her feet. Evelyn's maybe going back to university.
Can I just also point out that there's a scene where Fizz is struggling to cook the dinner and Cassie comes to help her and Fizz has put the chips in before the fish fingers. What is going on?
Is that not what you do?
What is going on? How thin are these fish fingers? How fat are these chips? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I also...
How have you burned the chips before you've even put the fish fingers in?
Shout out to the scene where they're talking about zodiac signs, which was... I can't remember what it was. Who was it that was blathering on about it? But saying how kind and lovely and helpful that Deb is. I think it was Bernie, because he's a Pisces. And then Evelyn says, well, I'm a Pisces too. And that shuts her down. It just shows her a load of mumbo-jumbo. Right, finally, after all this mega drama and just everybody being miserable at each other, we get to what's going on.
No, it's another one.
With George and Christina, the light relief of the week. But I am still going to say that it's not a good look for Jenny, and she is still coming off as mega desperate here. And I still think that George and Christina are a much better pairing than Jenny and George would ever be.
Yes. All right.
So what's been going on here, Jenny?
Friday, Jenny's made a tactical error by expecting that George would want to go for a 2-for-1 at the vegan place around the road.
And she tries to get Tracy on it later as well, doesn't she?
She does.
We went to a vegan cafe in London once.
It wasn't a cafe. It was a Michelin restaurant.
It was surprisingly nice.
It was good.
Give it a try. Why she doesn't go and ask Toyah? She'd snap her up.
I'd sell it to her.
The other thing that I saw online was somebody suggesting that Ollie's interested in Toyah because he wants a recipe for a vegan lasagna.
I thought it was you that said that.
No, I think I copied somebody else. It's frozen, Ollie. Get it? Just get it fresh, guys.
All a horrible. I'm sorry, but it's horrible. Vegetable lasagna is just a normal lasagna ruined with a bunch of courgettes and peppers in it. It sounds disgusting.
Right, Jenny, George, go.
George is like, I can't go. There are bodily fluids leaking all over the floor. I've got to clean it up. And Jenny's like, oh wow, never mind. And then she turns up to help him out. She's got a feather duster and a tabard and everything. And she says, oh, I come and clean for you even though it's beneath me. And
I did get a bit of a nostalgic twang when too. Jenny turned up in her tabard.
She came back.
Well, no, she didn't come back as that, but she was a cleaner in Underworld to Undertakers. It's only a short step. Although there was this odd line where Christina says, "Didn't you used to clean at a factory round the corner?" rather than the factory around the corner.
There's loads
as
of
if there's more than one.
There's a fish finger factory.
But yeah, he's already enlisted Christina to do a good bit of corpse scrubbing himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, she's got to get all the dirt from under their fingers.
They're brilliant, those two. Great little rivalry they've got going on there.
Yeah, so she just insults her and Jenny flounces off. And then she sees them in the Rovers having a drink together and she gets mad and tells Glenda that Christina's got her claws in him and she thinks she's been friend zoned, and Glenda's like, well, going to see about that. So
yeah, because Glenda is also...
Glenda hates Christina because of what she did. George and Christina are enjoying each other's company, and George is obviously a bit besotted with her because he says, you know, she's so good looking. They're talking about...
her wanting to be a... She says, "Oh, I'd make quite a good undertaker,"
and they do faces of like how they'd look.
Yeah, that was fun. And she says, "Well, I'd be there in my high heels," and he's like, and then they talk about not causing a distraction from the deceased, not taking the attention away, and he's like, "Well, somebody as beautiful as you'd struggle to do that."
Corpse at every funeral. So Jenny's like getting mad watching it, and she's like saying they need to. Glenda says we're going to set a man trap, so. They scheme up a speed dating event for Monday.
Looking forward to that.
Glenda convinces George to sign up, and Christina's like, yeah, well, I'll do it too. Why not? Who cares? I want to wear my leopard print blouse. I cannot wait to see this blouse. And Jenny's like fuming, and Tracy's like, oh God, that's desperate. Shona's like, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. And Glenda says, look, the hook is baited. Don't worry about it.
Any thoughts or predictions about what's going to go on here?
Oh God, it's not going to go well for Jenny.
It's not. I'm really sad that Jenny is looking like a fool.
The thing about it is, there are going to be lots of people who are non-speaking extras, and you can't really do speed dating with them.
No, that's true.
Answer any questions.
Maybe they're going to get Izzy out again.
Dirk's going to be there with his new specs on.
Oh yeah,
sexy specs, Dirk.
No, Jenny's just. I don't get why she's that into George. I don't think he's her type. I hope that as much as I'm loving the rivalry and I absolutely adore Christina, Jenny has got to come out on top here, and it doesn't look like it's going the way that she's going to.
No.
Really, really doesn't. And interesting move, Coronation Street. Anyway, that was kind of fun, as was the dullards all getting together in the bistro, by which I mean Adam, Alia, Dee Dee and Ollie, and they meet up in the cabin. Was it cabin or the cafe? I can't remember. The cafe, I think, at the beginning of the episode. And I was like, oh no, this lot are back again. This is going to be boring. But
I remember you saying there was a scene. Yeah, they were all standing in queue.
Yeah,
at the cafe.
That's it, yeah.
And you go to me, oh my God, these are the most boring characters in the whole show. And I said, oh, wait till you find out what they're going to do later. Have a double date.
Yes, so they do. And Ollie is somewhat rude towards Toyah.
I don't think he was at all. I don't get why everyone was so offended about this.
Well, he just makes this really snarky comment about artificial synthetic truffle oil.
He just made himself look like an absolute tosser.
Yeah, he did.
Because he's like, I've ordered the pasta with truffle oil and it turns out you didn't use real truffle oil. I'm sorry, Ollie, did you think a bistro in the back streets of Salford was using real truffle oil on their pasta you paid £12.95 for, you idiot?
When they talked about him being a foodie, it did make me wonder whether he's going to be the next one to get a job at Speed Dial or the bistro, though. Is he going to be the next Zidane?
If you're a foodie,
Robert Preston,
you know that it's going to be fake truffles in the oil. You know that because you're a foodie. He's an idiot.
So he's there kind of...
He's just trying to show off that he knew that it was not real truffle.
Toyah gets a bit offended by this, like even though she only brings the food. And then somebody mentions her name.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Toyah, that's an interesting name. And she says about Toyah Wilcox that she was named after, that Janice was...
She says... I was actually named after a character in Coronation Street. I know, it's weird. It's Inception, isn't it?
And Ollie kind of remarks at this. And then as she goes back behind the counter, he gives this suspicious sort of look.
What is going on?
At the end of the episode, or the end of the episode for this story, Dee Dee's kind of been a bit put out by his behaviour. It was like, oh, I didn't think that you'd be like that.
Everybody's overreacting to this.
When Alia says you're just being a hypervigilant because of Joel.
Why are you bringing this up, Alia? This is private. Everyone was having a conversation that should have been private in front of each other. Like Dee Dee says to Ollie in front of the other two, I don't like the way you talked about to Toyah. I don't think this relationship's working. And then Alia's giving her like really personal friend advice about her baggage history of dating a wannabe murderer.
Yeah.
This is all not this is not for now.
They're just desperately to make themselves not seem dull.
I'm exciting. I remembered that you
Honestly.
were dating a murderer.
So anyway, when they leave, Ollie's left alone in the bistro, isn't he? He kind of hangs back with a phone call, and he tells whoever it is that he's talking to that he's okay. He's going to do a bit of digging, and then he looks over at Toyah. So he's got some kind of thing that he's trying to find out about Toyah. So I kind of took it in my first watching of this that he didn't realise it was Toyah until he hears the name.
So he knows that Toyah is a person.
Yeah,
he knows
seems
of
to know
Toyah,
that
but he doesn't know what she looks like.
It's like, well, maybe. It's like he's been searching for her, but he can't have been searching very hard because he's been in the programme for 2 months now.
Yeah.
And surely this can't be his first time at the bistro because everybody goes there at least once a week.
Did they not have a drink at the... Was she not in the Rovers?
I don't remember. I doubt it because Toyah's barely done anything this year. But yeah, if he's looking for her, he's not looking very hard. Like, he could have mentioned to Dee Dee, oh, is there anyone called Toyah that lives here? Or maybe a bit more subtle than that. He could have put a bit of Toyah Wilcox on and hopes that Dee Dee would then say, Toyah Wilcox, we got a Toyah that lives around here.
Yeah, Toyah's a funny name.
So it's bizarre that he's only just found this person that he's clearly tried to do some digging on. Or if he has known all along that that's Toyah, why is it taking him so long to actually
do anything about it?
Yeah, is he just kind of settle himself in first so that his cover doesn't get blown?
What's Toyah got in her past that is relevant to Ollie? And I was going to say something else.
I think we have to say at this point, because we've not been shy about saying this before, we know a little bit more than is publicly available about Ollie. A tiny little bit. So I don't want to seem like disingenuous here. I don't want to go speculating, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, because we know.
No, hang on. I'm pretty good at imagining what I would think if I didn't know other things. So I don't mind speculating.
But can I just say, even though we know a tiny little extra bit about Ollie that other people don't know, I am still absolutely thoroughly baffled as to what's going on here.
No, what's he doing?
What is he up to?
Well, so what has Toyah got in her past? Like, to me...
Dead babies, dead husband.
Well, yeah, a lot of people were saying something to do with Imran because... Obviously, Ollie is Asian like Imran was, or is he? I don't know. Well, maybe people are saying he might be related to Imran. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Some people have said that he's Imran's son, which can't possibly be right considering the age.
Yeah,
unless Imran had him when he was like 6. He's not a brother. We know the Habib family.
Well, no, anyone could have a baby, whatever.
It's not a surprise that somebody might have an axe to grind against Toyah, considering how she is getting away with murder.
He looks younger than Imran. I know that the actor is younger.
Yeah, the actor is younger than Charlie.
Yeah. But he doesn't look like plausibly the same age. Like he's not his friend from school. I wondered also about the cult because Toyah was involved in getting Leanne out of the cult. Are they still knocking about? Is there a...
Or is it something with Spider? Because there was that scene a few weeks ago where he looks a bit shaken when it's when somebody, Dee Dee, tells him that Lisa is a policewoman.
Yeah.
So there's something dodgy about him. But
somebody else said that maybe he's something to do with Joel.
Yeah. I'm just thrilled that Toyah is finally getting a snifter of a story, possibly. And I'm also thrilled that these characters that are incredibly, incredibly dull have actually done something kind of interesting, which I didn't know that this was happening in Friday's episode. So it's like, that's yeah. Ooh.
The thing about Ollie is that he obviously knows that Toyah. We're all thinking he's talking about Toyah on the phone.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that could be a misdirection.
No, it's not.
I don't think it is. But he's obviously not trying to endear himself or befriend her because he just completely slagged her off.
No, but he didn't, because he slagged her off. He slagged off the truffle oil, but then as soon as he found out that her name was Toyah,
that's
he's like,
true.
oh,
sorry,
that's a really interesting name. So he's gonna, I think that we might see him kind of smarming around her a little bit on Monday. Wouldn't surprise me.
It is really confusing. And the other thing I was going to say, this guy came into the show because he had an accident with a car that Fiona had dodgily done an MOT on and the brakes didn't work. Yeah. So if he's wound up in a place where somebody that he was looking for lives, that's a massive coincidence. I know it's a soap, but that's just weird. How did he drift into this? He can't have lied about the car being wrong, because then he would have had to have known there was a scheme in the first place to have lied about it happening to him.
Yeah.
That can't be
I don't know.
a lie.
As I said, I don't really want to speculate here because I know a little bit more, but I am still very, very, very baffled as to exactly what's going on to get to the one little bit that I know about him.
At a stage where I'm thinking, I'm not sure that the thing that I think I know is true.
I know.
But we'll find out, won't we?
We'll find out.
I'm really... this completely perked me up on Friday because I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, for sure. Friday's episode did perk me up because of that and the Jenny story. But I'm going to say it was still a bit of a slog of a week for me. And I don't know whether it was because I was very tired when I was watching it, whether I binged 3 episodes in a row and that's too much to take. I'm not sure, but...
I wish I'd not known that Noah was going to die.
But at the end of the day, like, he's dead, but it doesn't feel like it's had a big enough impact.
I went into the episode seeing on Twitter Corrie's picture of Todd looking at his phone, and then it said he's dead in the caption, I think, or something like that.
No, really?
So I was like spending the whole time going, oh, Todd's going to look on his phone and find out that somebody's dead. So I was thinking, who could it be? Who could it be that he's finding out that is dead from his phone? Is it like an old boyfriend or something? And then as it was going through, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be Noah. But I don't know why I thought that. But I did think that once I thought it was Noah, I thought that it was going to be Theo that killed him, which is why I'm very invested in my theory that he gave him a heart attack. And I just want you to know, Dee Dee, that you think you can't give somebody a heart attack, but you can because the CIA's done it to loads of people. Just look it up.
It's a 5-point palm exploding heart technique,
yeah.
isn't it? Really?
You need to do your research.
I'm giving this week's Coronation Street...
I forgot we got score, right?
3 skid marks on Jenny's tabard.
Oh, that was funny when she
5.
said, what a cow.
Yeah, it was a
3.
It was a bit of a blah week for me. It was all right, but it's just that Abby story is bringing it down so much.
I'm not... I'm enjoying it more than you, but not a huge amount. So I'm going to give it 3.5 Wigfield songs, because I don't think there's even Saturday night, Sunday morning, Monday afternoon, and then Thursday.
Right. Character of the week this week. It can't be anyone in the Abby and Carl storyline. Can't really be anyone in the Theo story.
Christina.
I think it's possibly Christina. I think it is. I think she... Debbie, I suppose, in the Carl story is always good for a laugh.
Got to see Debbie's house.
Yes, I did enjoy that. But, I'm going to go Christina just because she was. She was great.
Are we including a little bit of Fridays last week? Because I did enjoy her telling Theo, I got your number, mate.
Yeah, why not?
She does say this again later on, I think, to George. She says, I don't like that, Theo, something about him.
Yeah. I hope she gets involved somehow more in that. So
I
there we
go.
We both saying Christina as character of the week.
But I'm going to give I'm going to give a shout out to Becky for her coming back from the dead joke, because that was brazen.
Okay, there we go. We've finally made it. That is everything. And not too much longer than a normal street talk would be, because there's not much to talk about. But we
just went through some of them.
Yeah, we did. We really did. That is street talk for this week.